The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
I don't know,
Hyped
man.
for
I don't
more
know if you're
Sonic
hyped
podcast?
enough.
I'm so hyped. I'm not gonna yell because my cats get scared when I do that.
That's fair. It's been such a busy week for me, man. Like, didn't have any time to look for, like, a guest or anything. Like, where do I begin? I suffered an allergic
Yeah, I
reaction to
could have
yogurt.
done that, but I just decided not to.
It's fair.
Oh, true.
But yeah, I suffered an allergic reaction to yogurt.
You did come back from the dead.
I fell off
Yeah.
a boat. I fell off a bridge. I ate chocolate. I suffered from chronic hereditary illnesses. I fell out of a plane with 2 parachutes that I didn't use. I had a paragliding incident, not related to the planes in any way. I tripped on a banana peel, swallowed too much ice. I got cooked on Twitter. I saw the gang thought I was dead when I was still just about alive and suffered physical heartbreak because I missed the Gen 1 reunion. I got fatal hemorrhoids when the gang misrepresented my superhero movie opinions. I died for an April Fool's prank, or so I thought until I emerged from the furnace without skin, wondering what the hell was in those chipolata sausages I ate. So, it's been a busy, busy week.
Yeah, goddamn. That was. I mean, we all were convinced that you were dead, and that's why we made that special. But I'm sure we can have another special pretty soon.
Yes, I had a
Like you wanted
bonus
to do.
life.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had a 1-up. He had a 2-up.
It sounds so
Okay, why don't you
sexual
tell us-
without sounding sexual. Like when
You had
in
a 2-up.
Super Mario Odyssey, when Pauline's like, "I'll be your one-up girl," I'm like, you know,
Okay. I mean, fair.
it's titillating.
It's fair. Pauline she is singing about. She's probably in love with Mario. She's probably been in love with Mario the entire time. So
Still, best girl is still Rosalina. Although, okay, right, so prettiest girl.
Did you
is-
ever see Did you ever see the concept art of Rosalina for Odyssey that they didn't like put in the game?
You mean to tell me that the best Mario game does not have best Mario girl?
Like, I guess that there's a lot of concept art for Odyssey of things that didn't make it into the game, and one of them is Rosalina in like a casual outfit. She's wearing like a black
Dude,
shirt,
I
jeans,
googled it,
and she has a guitar.
bro. Go
I think it's
down, go
cool.
back down, damn it. Yeah, she's kind of.
But that was neat. I hope she's in like Odyssey 2 or something.
There is definitely an Odyssey 2 coming, isn't there?
I fucking hope so. Like, we got 2 galaxies, and I get because it's like a super successful and beloved game.
It makes
But I
me
think
nervous.
Odyssey is sort of like that, except for the modern day. You know, like it's a super successful and incredibly innovative game.
It just makes me
So
nervous.
we deserve an Odyssey too.
It was my first ever Mario game, and I thought it was one of the most incredible games I'd ever played. And I'm nervous. Like, can they top it? Because, like, still now, like, I've played a few other Mario games. I think Odyssey is still my favorite Mario. And I'm just like, can they make it live up to it? From what I've heard, like,
Ugh.
Galaxy 2 doesn't quite live up to Galaxy 1.
Well, do you know the story of Galaxy 2? Do you know how that came about?
Isn't it just that it's like some leftover bits from Galaxy 1?
What Galaxy 2 started life as was an expansion for Galaxy 1 called Super Mario Galaxy More. And they just had so many ideas for a Galaxy game that they said, we're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to make a direct sequel to Mario Galaxy. You know, like they've never made a direct sequel like that before. So that's why I was thinking they were holding off on Odyssey. But I can't imagine that they are out of ideas for the Odyssey formula. You know, like I would very much rather have another entry that doesn't blow Odyssey away, perhaps, but per se, but I would rather have it just be more Mario Odyssey, because it's so good already that I just want more of it.
But you need...
You know, like, I don't care
you
if it
need
expands, like, eclipses it.
You need something in there that's as iconic as the whole New Donk Festival, man. Like, because that is an incredible midway
sure.
point for the game. Like...
Yeah, no, and I'm sure they could do it. Like, I think they just need to... Maybe that's why it's taken them so long. Like, or maybe it's a Switch 2 game. I don't know.
Maybe.
I hope not.
But, yeah. So that's the Mario news. I guess, right, yeah, my bad. Welcome, everybody, to Sunset City.
The Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age, where we talk about Mario first.
There you go, you got it. And we do, of course, have little terms and conditions. Every episode is brought to you by our many great patrons, and if you want to become a patron, the Patreon link is in the description below. You can get some perks, such as asking our guests a question, maybe, if we have one. I mean, the one we have today is very polite. He's not saying anything. But
he's still a little guy. Look at him there.
You also get access to the Discord server, and we do occasionally want to do like a show after party thing from time to time as well. But yeah, there's stuff that we do need to get round to, I guess. But yeah, that and super chats are read at the end of every episode. So if you do super chat and you feel like you've been kept waiting, don't worry, it will be read. It's at the end of the show. So yeah.
We do see them as they go by, and we appreciate the support. It's just, like, I've seen a few of them already, and we've just barely started. So thank you guys a lot for just showing up and throwing money at the show. That means a lot to us.
Hell yeah, super generous. So we got a little news, okay? So Sonic is doing a collaboration with the International House of Burgers, IHOB, and they've got their own special little menu. Dylan, have you seen what's on the menu?
Yes, I think there's a like blue themed pancakes which contain a lot of blueberries for Sonic.
They should have made waffles, man.
I think the Shadow pup. They have the Shadow Chaos chocolate pancakes, which I personally would steer clear of because I'm not a huge fan of chocolate, and it looks like there's a lot in there.
You don't like chocolate?
Yeah, no, I've just never really liked it very much. It's weird. Like, it always kind of made me feel a little. I'm not allergic to it. I just kind of made me feel bad when I would eat it. I don't know why.
To be fair, you are the man who likes to eat the tuna and pepperoni sandwich.
That was a long time ago, but I do still like tuna.
You'll never live it down. It's such a weird choice, and you don't like chocolate.
But they have the Knuckles chicken sandwich, which actually looks really good. And I saw someone on Twitter, I think it was VMeg, talking about trying these items. He said that was delicious. So I have an IHOP near me, but I will not go alone. I'm not gonna fucking go to IHOP alone to eat Sonic things. And then I think there's an Eggman Eggs Benedict, which Eggs Benedict is always good, so that's probably my preferred item out of the things that they've announced.
And then there's the Tails 2x2x2, where you get 2 eggs, 2 pancakes, 2 bacon strips, or 2 sausage links. Just like Tails, everything comes in 2s. So I would probably go for... Oh, there's also Amy's Sweet Strawberry Delight.
Oh, sorry, I missed that one. I didn't see that one.
I'd probably go for the Tails one, but, like, what do you mean 2 bacon or 2 sausage? Give me... Like, come on. Give me 2. 2 of the pork treats, you know?
I guess it all depends on, like, I think that's what they do usually. They give you 2 bacon or 2 sausage with some of the meals. I don't want 2 bacon
or 2 sausage. I want 2 bacon and 2 sausage. Give me both.
Oh, well, that costs extra.
Fuck the cost. Give me it. But the problem I have is that there are no IHOPs in the UK. So no Sonic food
This is region-locked DLC, huh?
I had the audacity to live in England, so that's just how it is. But hey, with Surfshark VPN, I can maybe get to IHOP, right?
You can order IHOP to the UK.
But yeah, Dylan, you should get it delivered if you're self-conscious about going into IHOP and buying food.
I guess I could, but like maybe I'll do it tomorrow morning. I don't know, for breakfast. Yes, I know, Daisy. Hi.
Okay, so I did ask Nick, but I think if he eats too much, he'll break his labia. I was gonna say, like, if I open an IHOP account, can I buy you guys food and then I get the prize at the end of it?
I mean, you could just send me money and I'll buy food. I don't think you need to set up the account.
No, because I was thinking you could get some food, Nick could get some food, and then together you could earn enough points to get me the reward, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Oh, you need points to get it?
I didn't know you points system. So
what is it, like a fucking loot box?
It's like $26 worth of food. We'll get you it.
You know, to be fair, that's actually pretty close to like one meal at IHOP anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just get 2 meals at IHOP and you should be there. But yeah, I'll happily buy you guys food if it means that I can get the treat. But I mean, as it is, I wish I could have the food too. I love IHOP, man. Like I love me some breakfast foods, and it stinks we don't have that in the UK. And you're saying you want someone to go with. If you could cover my flights, mate, I'll come over there and we'll go get IHOP.
Pop, if you genuinely want this DLC that I don't give a shit about, and you want to buy me food, I will buy 2 meals tomorrow, and you can pay me back, and I'll give you the code. I don't care.
Okay, sure.
I'll do that.
I'm game. I didn't know if you wanted like the code.
Absolutely, I'll buy the food. Yeah, no, I want the food, so you can have the. I get the food. The code, if it works.
And then, yeah,
just hit me up tomorrow. I'll do it.
Switch one.
I guess. Do I get to choose? Are they random?
Yeah, they don't give out a Steam one. I would otherwise take a Steam one, but there is no Steam one.
Okay, yeah, I'll make an IHOP account. I'll do that, and I'll get the thing. Yeah, it's not on Steam. That's right. For some reason.
So the prize you get.
That's so weird.
I don't know why I decided to keep this a secret until now, but the prize you get is Amy in a waitress outfit. So yeah, it's a little blue sort of retro diner.
Does it even have the IHOP logo on it?
It doesn't, and nor does it actually look like an IHOP uniform. I did Google it to find out if it was actually an IHOP uniform, but no, it isn't. But also,
I don't understand. Why would IHOP be like, hey, this is our thing. We're just gonna have... Like what's the fucking point? It's just a blue dress.
Also, Charles Champ says, Pup, the code is US region only. It will not work for a UK account, but I can change the region of the Switch. Otherwise, they're just playing fucking hardball. And
stop saying that, because I want my free breakfast from Pup. Don't tell him these things.
I'm sure there'll be a way. I am sure there will be a way for me to get this fucking skin. Because I remember when I first got Sonic Frontiers, I couldn't get I bought the game in America, but I couldn't put the soap shoes on my PS5 copy because it was an American code, and I have a English account. But it was okay. I just opened a new account called Pup USA and installed it on there. So I can probably... I have that for the... Sorry, go on.
I've got that for the Japanese account, so I could get like a couple demos that were only on the Japanese e-store.
Right, yeah. So I should think it will be a similar process with the Switch, but maybe I need to start thinking about investing in a copy of Sonic Superstars for the PlayStation 5 worst come. No, you know what? No, I've already bought that game 2 times now. And I bought the Digital Deluxe, and inevitably there's going to be a plus. Fuck it.
I didn't even think about that.
Just get this man his IHOP, and yeah. But this is not the first time that, especially like Steam owners, have been fucked over by the weird DLC rollout for Sonic Superstars, because like there were the comic skins, which were in America exclusive to like Kroger gas stations, and you had to earn points. Whereas in the UK, it was Amazon exclusive. So if you bought your copy from Amazon, it would have to be a physical one. They were on the Steam store for the best part of like 10 minutes before vanishing forever. And it sucks because Steam players have just completely gotten the short end of the wedge when it comes to the comic skins.
This is so stupid. You know what's funny? I think the comic skins actually look really nice too, like especially with how zoomed out the game is. Like,
my stupid ass bought the so I got it on Switch, and the comic skins don't look as good on Switch as they do on any of the other consoles.
I mean, nothing does.
Allegedly, on the other consoles though, there are some problems with those skins glitching and turning all black. But I mean, hey, Sonic Superstars, AAA gaming, all that, this, that, and the other. But yeah, I don't like this rollout of DLC. That sucks. Like, on one hand, I like... so, as Bad Nick Mechanic said, I actually like the idea that you could just do a little shopping and come home with a little thing for Sonic Superstars that you can then boot up and play. I think that's a really neat idea, but I think that only works with the caveat that it's like, it will eventually go on sale on, like, the marketplace later. Like, if it's like, you can get it free with a meal at IHOP now, and then a month later it will release on the PlayStation Store for like $5, I think that's much more fair and much more sensible. I mean, personally, look, I much prefer the old thing of like, you've done some challenges in the game and now you've got a skin. But if they want to go down that route, if we are in the bad future when it comes to the gaming industry, then I don't think that's a terrible way to go. But I think what's happened where it's like you snooze, you lose effectively sucks.
Yeah, no, I think it's stupid, especially when some of these skins are just not going to be re-released, and there's no way to like legally get them.
Yeah.
And then it's also like region specific for some reason. Like I would accept it a little bit more if they were like, hey, people go to IHOP in the US and whatever regions it's available and get this skin, but then people who have no IHOPs can go here and either get the same skin or maybe something that's unique to them. But then I guess there would still be the caveat of people being like, oh, I wish I had that one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how in Pokemon Go they have like a bunch of region stuff. Like if you go to, which I guess makes a little more sense for Pokemon because it's also region based in the games. But like if you go to certain locations in the real world, you're more likely to find certain Pokemon, and some Pokemon I think only spawn in certain regions.
Yeah, or even then, like if the fucking, because the outfit doesn't have an IHOP logo on it. If they can't, you know, if they are doing it as an IHOP thing in the USA, why not do it as like a TGI Fridays thing in the UK or something? Like,
yeah, or, I mean, they have TGI Fridays here as well, so why not just pick a place that everyone has?
I get it. Like,
yeah,
they've done a deal.
I guess it's like whoever has the most pull, maybe.
Yeah, or like,
I don't know.
I want Sonic in a chicken suit, and for it to be like a Nando's exclusive. That would actually be amazing. Sega, Sonic in a chicken suit, Nando's exclusive. Come on, guys, do it. Yeah, but that's another rumored thing that's come to be. Like, the rumors were Shadow Skin and Waitress Amy, and we got them both. So, yeah. Cool.
It's just silly. I think it's just goofy. I'm making my IHOP rewards account right now, just so you know.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
This will happen.
Okay, I want to Google like how to get region locked content on Switch. Access the system settings, go to menu, system settings, choose region. Oh, so simple. So fucking simple. So easy. Yeah, okay, Dylan, we're doing this. Do we know how many points it requires?
I have no idea, but I just looked at I'm looking at the food right now, and the Knuckles chicken sandwich is 1,660 calories. That's fucking crazy.
That's way over half your daily intake.
That's like, I think they say, like, for most people, I know it's different for most, like, for everybody, but, like, I think the general one is, like, around 2,000 calories or something, 2,000 right?
Calories
like, so that's,
a day
like,
is the recommended,
that's fucking crazy. But everything else is pretty low. Like, I'm surprised the Sonic pancakes are 610. The Shadow pancakes only get up to 770. And the Eggs Benedict, of course, is the lowest because it's eggs. So it's only 450. But I don't count calories too much unless it's a chicken sandwich that might kill you. I might go with the Sonic pancakes and the Eggman Benedict. That's probably a good one.
Also, I'm noticing folks mentioning
Easy, don't do that.
That you might need to be on a US server in order to do the US region thing. So, worst come to worst, I can just have you log into my account on your Switch, and then, you know, claim it. And then I could probably download it from the UK. So much fucking effort just to get a fucking character I barely play as in an outfit I probably wouldn't play in anyway on a game I barely fucking play these days.
Listen, don't talk yourself out of it, because I really would like the free food.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm not very liquid right now, but I'll figure it out.
That's fine. Alright. I guess I can order it online, too. I'm seeing these things online.
This is like the Sunset City paid dinner, I guess. I'm gonna put this down on my taxes as a staff dinner.
It kind of is. This is for content. I'm sure you'll show it somewhere.
Right? Yeah, and we're talking about it now,
yeah, okay.
So technically, this is
show.
Work.
Yeah.
We're working right now, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, I think I can order it online as well. I hope I can just get the points that way. I just don't know how many points you get from each meal. Is it based on the price?
I have no idea. But when are they going to give Rouge a Hooters skin?
I think that it would have been in Forces for, like, it would have been Japanese exclusive, right? Because that's where the promotion was.
Yeah, but
so it's kind of over
Rouge
at this
ain't
point.
Even playable, is she?
It's over.
Even in, like, is she even a model in the game? Or does she just appear in pre-rendered cutscenes?
No, she has a model in the game. The only people that I think that are in the pre-rendered ones are Chaos. I think it might have just been Chaos, actually, because Rouge appears in multiple scenes with the custom character, and everyone with the custom character is an in-game cutscene.
True, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Alright. Bring me Hooters Rouge. Or just, you know what, fuck it. There's gotta be some kind of corporate nude beach that can sponsor a Sonic game, right? Like, let's just go for that.
But Sonic never wears clothes.
Yes, Sonic is who I was talking about, yes. Got a
Okay,
little...
wait, hold on. So Tai Cyan says basically every 5 USD is 1 coin, so Amy outfit is 25 USD. Okay, well, I can definitely make that. That's
Am
just
I
two.
really going
That's
to
two
pay
food orders, basically.
fucking $25 for a fucking skin?
Stop thinking about it. I'm excited about this.
I'm starting to become sensible. I feel like I am maturing in real time right now. I'm gradually turning 30.
Stop it.
Tell you what, why don't you buy one of the meals and I'll buy you another? Will that work?
Okay, that's fair.
You get the food still. Like,
That's fine. I'll do that.
hooray. Alright.
Alright.
Well, that's the show, everybody. Good night.
I'm glad you tuned in for this moment of news.
Yeah, guys.
Alright, have we said all we wanted to say about this? I don't know. Like, I don't think I have much to say other than I think it's stupid that they... I mean, I guess it's also stupid that it's such a tiny little thing and it's worth so much money.
Yeah.
You know, but like...
I suppose you're getting the food, though. It's like Sonic Prime Dash in that you're paying for the Netflix subscription, but you get the perks.
Unless your dad pays for it, which mine does.
My sister
I don't
pays
pay for
mine.
Netflix.
So I don't pay for Netflix either.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I have something to say about Prime Dash.
It's good.
I have played it here and there because I've been like stuck out in public waiting for shit, right?
Mhm.
And I've been playing Prime Dash, and there are no microtransactions, which is nice.
Yes.
But they still have shit like spend 2 red rings to spin this wheel and get a reward. And I spent 80 red rings and never landed on the character jackpot one time.
Oh, also the character jackpot only gives you tokens to go towards the character. It doesn't give you the character.
I know. So, like, I wouldn't have gotten Blaze anyway, but I just find that it's stupid that they still sort of have, like, a microtransaction-y type thing
I don't know.
in the
I think
game
that's kind of... I mean,
when there are no microtransactions.
I've gotten the jackpot a few times on the spin, but they give you, like, red rings out the wazoo in Prime Dash anyway. Like, the thing that I've been doing recently...
You do the tricks and they give them to you sometimes.
The thing I've been doing recently, like, because they had the Win Classic Supersonic promo started yesterday. I basically had a load of red rings that I had hoarded, and then when I unlock Classic Supersonic, I'll then go to the store, and with my red rings, buy a load of gold rings, and then just upgrade the shit out of him and max him out in like an hour. Like, it was fun. I like Sonic Prime Dash.
Cool. I'm glad that it doesn't have the microtransactions, and I don't know. I guess it's cool that I don't even know how I got her, but I have Rusty Rose, and I thought that was a pretty unique skin.
Rusty Rose is available from the beginning.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
So she, 9, Boss Cage Sonic, and regular Sonic, I believe, are all available from the jump.
Okay. Alright, that's fair enough. I do like the little builder thing they added as well. I know that was in regular Dash, but like I think that's a neat update and little evolution of an app that I feel like I don't typically see in a game like that. Like, this game has existed so long, they added a whole nother aspect of shit to it.
The problem with the builder for me, though, is it quickly becomes irrelevant. Like, once you've done the builder, it's done, and then you're just getting loads of gems that you have absolutely nothing to do with.
Yeah, you know, I kind of wish it was more like some of those other iPhone and Android games where you get to like place buildings around and build your own little town.
Yeah,
like, I think that would have been cooler.
Like, sell the buildings that you have gotten and then get the upgraded versions later on. Because like the amount of times I've just taken the path of least resistance just to unlock a character. Like Shadow, you unlock him at Sky Sanctuary or at the end of Sky Sanctuary, and I just threw the rings at the cheapest possible things there, and it's alright. I haven't personalized it much, but all I really wanted was Shadow. I am also hoping that maybe they'll release an update that, like, freshens up some of the models, because the thing is, the more recently added models, like Super Silver or the Prime Cast, look great, But then regular Sonic, regular Silver, regular Shadow, Knuckles, Tails, Amy all kind of look like ass in comparison. And then holy
Right, because
fuck,
they're like
Amy's running
10-year-old
animation.
models from like the original game.
Yeah. And Amy's running animation looks like someone who has never seen a woman run before decided to try and make a woman run.
Oh, that's where she like waves her head
runs like a
side to side,
fucking
right?
duck.
She like
She looks like a duck when she runs. It's
Duck?
ridiculous.
I remember that because I was like, I think I unlocked Amy in the original version, and I was like, what are they doing? What is this?
And it's like they make a point of upskirting her during the fucking stunts. Like, ridiculous. Like, calm down.
It's so I think that's a problem with just like Amy's model going back to like Sonic Adventure. I think that's always been an issue.
Yeah, because the hoop skirt is silly, like wide and high. I mentioned in your fucking stream of Sonic Dream Team that they clearly made her skirt a little more subtle in that game, and it looks so much better for it. I mean, same goes for like Boom as well, where they put her in a little coat. Like, this is the thing that happens so often is like when other
coat.
Just go. Sorry.
Yeah, her boom design is fucking awesome.
Her boom
I
design's
think
better
that's
than
like
her
one of my
regular
favorite
design.
designs. Aside from, I think she looks a little bit like a Muppet though, with like the middle mouth. But like, other than that, I think the design in Boom is really, really good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like there's so many. Oh yeah, no, Webster, that's actually untrue. She doesn't wear shorts under her skirt in. You can't believe I'm talking about this. In Frontiers, there was people thinking that she had shorts on under the skirt to avoid the upskirt issue, but no, like, that's just a cyber effect. If you play any of the game with the cyber effect switched off via mods or whatever, it sounds like I've checked, but they are just little panties. Fucking hell. Yeah. But it's one of those things where I've always mentioned, whenever other teams get hold of the Sonic characters, there are some things that are consistent. They'll usually shrink the hands a little bit. Look at Boom. They shrunk the hands and heads. And the movie, they shrunk the hands and the heads and stuff like that. And look at Boom. They shrunk Amy's skirt to look a bit more sensible looking. And they did the same in Prime as well. And it's like, there are so many of these little design features that fucking Sonic Team are just insistent on. And it's just like, why? Just change this now. It's clearly difficult for the animators. Like, imagine being an animator and getting past the fucking modern Amy model and being asked to animate anything with that. Worse yet, the Knuckles model, which is like nigh on impossible to even make him moat. Because like he's got this weird compromise between a mono eye and a regular eye, and he can't really unfurrow his brow. Like, change it.
I think this is interesting to talk about because there's actually a Twitter account I've been following now for a bit. Let me just pull up their name because they have had a lot of conversations about Sonic models over the last little bit because
they did a lot of comparisons with the Rio 2016 models, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Their name is Sock something.
Yeah,
but they're making mods for Sonic Frontiers right now. They made a Rio Sonic mod from Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympic Games. Apparently these Rio models are just really fucking good, like in a million different ways, and I agree. Like, they look fantastic, and if you haven't seen them, seriously, go look at that, or check out the Frontiers mod that adds that. I'm trying to find their Twitter handle right now, but it's hard to find. But we can continue. I'll just pull it up when I find it.
Yeah, it's another thing where a lot of these other companies that get their hands on the models, another consistent thing is Knuckles, they tend to make him a little more buff. Like, look at Boom, Knuckles is quite buff. It's probably the most extreme he's ever been. But then look at the movies, and Knuckles is still a lot more buff than the other characters. Yeah, honestly, movie Knuckles is much closer to the Boom design than the modern design by quite a landslide. And it's like, the games still, the regular Sonic Team titles still just stick with the bog standard, like, modern Knuckles look. And yeah, his current model is definitely, like, the weakest one out of the bunch now. Like, I understand people found it controversial because it was such a drastic departure, but I liked the Boom Knuckles design and thought it just worked a lot better than the modern Knuckles design, and I still stand by that.
Here, I found their Twitter account. If you wanted to show this is one of their recent posts. This is like of the Rio Sonic model they worked on for Frontiers. I'm just going to send it to you in DMs, but It looks so good. Like it's got like all these really. I don't know how really to describe it. But they have a lot of threads on here talking about it, but the features are just so much better defined. Like nothing looks like it's. You know, sometimes Sonic looks like he's got like a weird hedgehog suit on, like his arms connect, but it looks like he's got like plastic connectors on his arms.
Yeah,
basically.
although his arms are like poking out of his torso like they're a separate piece.
Yeah, they're like an art project.
Yeah,
but like
it's
this
one of those
model
things-
looks like a guy, like a character.
It's one of those things where, like, the model might be lower poly or lower fidelity, but it's just a more well-designed thing. I'm popping it up on stream now so people can see it, but that is Sock Attorney's Rio Sonic mod for Sonic Frontiers. And yeah, it does look quite a bit better. He's a bit more expressive. His eyebrows look a lot more natural. I like a Sonic with fairly thick eyebrows. Yeah, like, I don't personally think, like, when it comes to Sonic's model itself, much needs to really change, so much as they need to rig it in a way that will allow him to be more expressive as well. Like, because the way he's rigged in Sonic Frontiers is just incredibly rigid, you know? Hence why the movements are also incredibly rigid. I didn't know that Discord reactive images could do that.
What do they do?
Did you mute for a second?
Yeah, I keep coughing because of the fucking spring air or whatever. So I close.
Yeah,
I
mute
mute when I
symbol
cough.
showed up over your Discord reactive image.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So now they'll know when you're fapping.
When I'm coughing,
Sure.
it's a different verb.
Sure. Coughing. Gotcha. I will say this. I think the critically acclaimed Sonic Superstars has, like, some of the best character animations and rigs in quite a long while for Sonic. At least since, like, Rise of Lyric. Like, everyone moves nicely. There's a nice sense of squish to them, you know?
Yes, I agree. That there is like the slight problem of like. I think actually this doesn't have to do with the animations, I guess, but the fact that Sonic always has his like little stupid O mouth is really
I don't
annoying
like
to
it
me.
either.
But like, other than that, I think the game looks really nice.
Actually, no. No, you're fucking wrong. I think it's perfect that they made him look like Kirby. That they gave him the Kirby facial expression. I think it's perfect.
Kirby doesn't even do that all the time, though.
No, but
Not
they
anymore.
clearly
Like,
tried to
he
make him look
smiles
like Kirby,
stuff.
because like his pupils have the same shading style as Kirby as well.
I suppose they do. Also, T.R. Gabriel's saying they like how Sonic looks in Dream Team. I think that is a very good iteration of all the characters. I think they look really good in that game.
I agree. Knuckles could
They
still
took
be
the
better.
time to
but-
make them look good, rig them properly, stuff like that, like you were saying.
Yeah, like Knuckles
But,
could still be better, but like I think like the Dream Team at least like proposes like this is what can be done with the models we have right now, you know?
Yeah, no, and they do it well. I know it's like many of the cutscenes are just, solid images with, sorry, not solid, static images, but and in gameplay it's hard to tell anyway, but just they look so much better and more expressive even in those moments of just standing there in static poses.
I'll also say this,
Which is
I would
funny,
much,
because in Frontiers they look less animated than they do in Sonic Dream Team.
I was about to say I would much rather have like Dream Team style of image kind of like animatic than not all of the Frontiers cutscenes, but like the ones where they are just standing there, moving their heads slightly while they're talking. I
Yeah.
would rather go the Dream Team approach. Because I think, yeah, if you have still images with lots of expression in them, that is better than video with no expression whatsoever. Especially like the Final Horizon ones where they don't even move their mouths. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's like, it's sort of like Secret Rings and Black Knight. Those are like extremely stylized, but they look really nice when they do cutscenes. And I don't mind it. They have like the very subtle movements at some points, and it's like, this is delicious.
And again,
this is
people like
perfect.
say, like, people clown on the Chaos Island cutscene with the beams coming down from the sky saying, did the budget run out here? I'm like, that is still the best looking cutscene in the fucking game.
Yeah, it actually does look really good. I hadn't seen that until when we had Jebzone on the show the other day. We watched his video about Frontiers. I hadn't seen that cutscene. I totally forgotten about it, but when I watched it, I was like, ooh, it's like actually evokes a bit more of the style that people sort of always mention about those previous games.
Yeah, and also some of the cutscenes with the Ancients during Raya Island look really cool too.
Yeah, that I can't speak to. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, they have a lot of painted sort of image cutscenes there, but they've also got some moving shots too. But they do look cool.
God, what the heck was the tangent what were we talking about before this? We were just talking about character models, I guess.
IHOP.
I got totally lost.
I think we were talking about IHOP.
IHOP, right? Okay, well I'm done talking about IHOP because it's just gonna make me more hungry.
Okay. So you sure you don't want the Amy skin?
No, I'm positive. I don't give a shit. If I can't get it on PC, that's the only platform I have it on.
Fair enough. I just know how much you love Sonic Superstars.
Yeah.
The critically acclaimed game.
I'll just use mods. I already have mods to make the characters look better, so I don't need the DLC skins.
Did we address the elephant in the room? I've seen a couple of chats talking about it.
What?
The fucking Twitter thing. Should we mention
what Twitter thing?
You know the one I'm talking about.
The Twitter... Oh, the thing where you posted your footage about the thing?
Me getting cooked. Should we address it? Because I've seen a couple of
I don't care. Yeah, no, sure. People upset about it in the chat?
People are livid about that shit. Like, I even put, like, a jokey, like, shill post out saying, like, yeah, subscribe to our very monetized podcast and dig deep.
No, are people mad in the chat right now? Or are they just mentioning that you got cooked?
Oh, I don't think people in the chat are mad about it, but I have seen some people mentioning, like, are you going to address that you're really bad at Sonic Superstars?
Oh, yeah, no, you should definitely talk about this because, and let me say, okay.
You don't have to comment on this if you'd like to preserve your fucking ass.
No, I don't give a shit. Okay. Listen, I want to say what I think about this, because Pop even said to me in DMs, at some of the footage could, it is possible, like some of it is that he may have been, like, fucking up a little bit in the gameplay, but there's so much of that reel that just showcases bad game design, especially in Trip's story. So, like, I do not agree with, like, the extreme backlash, and this is just an example of how Sonic is always treated online. If you have an opinion about something like this, and there are completely valid reasons, sometimes you're just not allowed to talk about it, because people get too mad.
Shall we?
And I do not agree.
Comments.
But Pop, please go on. I give you the floor for that.
There's a lot of comments that say the same thing, skill issue, and it's like what people were saying around the time of like Frontiers Final Horizon was anytime someone said like, the game is a little too challenging or whatever, or that things aren't telegraphed well enough, people say skill issue. I've had a lot of comparisons to the Cuphead dash jump thing. The guy on the railing.
It's nowhere near as bad as the Cuphead thing. The Cuphead thing is blatant not understanding how to read or do anything in that game. Your thing was that Sonic Superstars, especially in Trip's story, has ridiculous enemy and spike placement that you cannot see coming and you wouldn't know are there unless you've already played the level.
I'm being compared to Darkside Phil in one of these.
It's silly. Like, people go really, like, way out of line to try and justify things that they think are true. And it's very silly. It's very dumb, even.
So I will kind of comment on it, because I think people have mistaken me calling it bullshit placement with impossible to avoid. I am not by any chance saying it's impossible to avoid. With trial and error, with repetition, yeah, you can get to a point where you can avoid these things pretty well. But the thing is, a lot of what I posted was things like, I've jumped into the side of a trap, where it's not really, it's like the electric crusher things in Cyberstation. You jump into the side of it, and it still hurts you, even though you didn't actually touch the thing that is illuminated and electric. And that sucks, because it's like, on that one where I used the time slowdown thing, how was I actually supposed to figure out when to actually jump there when he just got hit straight away anyway? There's things like the spike bed in Lagoon City, where it's just like, I'm running along, singing a song, having a good time, and there is no indication that there's a spike bed on the ground below me that I couldn't possibly know about. And it's like, we can blame this on me all we want, but this kind of stuff was a problem in the Dimps games, and they got roasted for it. It wasn't a problem in the majority of Sonic 2. It wasn't, except for like Metropolis maybe. It wasn't a problem in Sonic 3 and Knuckles pretty much at all, nor was it a problem in Sonic CD. Well, in a couple of spots in Sonic 1. But again, I'm not in any way saying these are impossible to avoid. That's not what I'm saying. But it can still be kind of dickish placement without being completely impossible to avoid. So I think, and it's like, yeah, you could say you're just not good at the game, but it's like, I understand the sentiment that with Sonic games, you're supposed to get better at them. But I don't think it all boiled down to memorization. Like, even in the best of Sonic games, it never boiled down to memorizations. The thing with 2D platformer design is there's an element of trust to it. You know, you do not put traps and hazards out of the player's line of sight. And that is
why
true.
People hate bottomless pits in the advanced series so much. You know, because, like, you could be going around, you could be running around, and then you jump and you miss something, and you immediately fall in a pit that you just had no clue was going to be there, because there's no... The only indication is that there's, like, a drop-off. You know, you could be like, oh, there's a lower route there, because Sonic has frequently level design where there are multiple tiers of pathways you can go on. So you might think, I'm going to fall here, I'm going to be trapped in the lower pathway, so it's going to be a little slower. But instead, you fall for, like... You know those moments in Advance 1, 2, and 3? I think mainly Advance 1 and 2, where you fall, and you just keep falling for, like, 10 seconds, and you go, oh, this is a bottomless pit. Like, and there's no chance to get out of it, there's no way to do anything to save yourself, and the first time you play it, that sucks ass.
Even
like that just feels 4, like really cheap design.
Even Sonic 4 Episode 2 has those, like, little warning signs. It's like Cyberstation. There's those, like, little Tesla thingies, Tesla coil thingies, that you jump into, and then they take you along this set track. And the majority of those will take you to where you need to go. And then there's these little platform doohickeys that give out at the bottom. Like, they give out under you, the purple ones. And most of them will take you to where you need to go. But one of them, without any kind of warning, just leads to a bottomless pit. And that's shit design. I'm sorry, but it is. I'm not claiming it's impossible to avoid, but it's shit design. I'm not just playing this game for the sake of being shit at it. In this footage, I'm showing that there are a lot of placements here that are just outright unfair. Like also, like, when you're in, like, the sand waterfall in Trip's story, and you've got fucking egg robos shooting at you, you can't get out of a sand waterfall quickly. So it's just fucking unfair, you know? And I thought people were generally in agreement that Sonic Superstars had some very unfair level design, because that's the kind of stuff that separated the game from, say, Sonic Mania. But the backlash has been big. Like, and it's one of those things where I am happy to accept criticism. I have said myself that there is stuff in that footage that is perfectly questionable. You could say, you know, is Pup just not playing this very well? Like, for example, the bit where Trip gets a little stuck in a spike bed, and it looks like I'm just jumping into it. I am holding down the wall crawl button. I just want to point that out. And I understand how that could be misconstrued, but I was holding down the fucking wall crawl button there. Yeah, but Sonic fans are never getting past the dogpiling rumors, and I've had people say to me saying that, you know, it's kind of a dogpiling issue. People say, yeah, well, just don't post shit gameplay footage. And it's like, you could have proven me so right if you just didn't comment that. Like, if someone accused you of dogpiling and your immediate decision is to quote tweet them saying they fucking suck at the game, and that it's not a dogpiling issue, you are just proving the person's point.
Yep. That's, it's annoying. Because it feels like... I don't get why some people don't understand that criticism of something like that is how... And I know that, like, for a corporation or, like, a company, right, it's not always going to work like this, but criticism is meant to help someone improve. Like, if you make something... Let's take this back to fucking elementary school. If you are making something and then your friend says, oh, I don't like this part of it, but, you know, like, maybe you could have tried it this way instead, and, like, maybe a few people mention this, you go, oh, all right. Okay, so maybe next time I'll try to do this a different way because people didn't react. And this is a lot to... You know, this is a very mature way to portray this, I guess, for elementary school. But, like, this is how you learn that, like, oh, you can hear feedback like this, and it'll help in the long run. It's not just like, hey, you're a fucking idiot. Don't do that. Then it's like, what do we gain from this? You know, like we say, hey, there are legitimate problems with this. Shut up. It's perfect. You're just bad. Okay, so we just pretend that it's not a problem then.
And it's
we
like,
just
I'm not
ignore
ruling
it.
out that there are some mistimed moves, But you gotta admit, it's way too narrow. It's way too fucking narrow. Like, it's shitty placement is what it is. It's dickish. Like, the final
and not
boss.
everybody responds like this, of course. Not everybody is like that. But there are so many people in this fandom that'll just dogpile, like Pup's saying, and it almost makes you just not want to say anything, and it's like, okay, have fun with your mediocre shit products then, I guess.
Yeah, like, the final boss, like, I don't think it's an unfair fight. Like, the final boss against Robotnik, I don't think it's an unfair fight. But it's shit. Because it's just dickish, you know? Like, it's not unfair, it's just dickish. Like, it's hard to quantify.
No, I understand. Because, I mean, I know it's a final boss, and I know people are... Like, I know it's like, okay, it sort of makes sense for a final boss to have insta-kill moves. But when you don't portray them as something that would kill you instantly, i.e. the lasers... You know, that you have run into many times in the past in the same game.
Yeah.
You know, lasers that didn't kill you instantly, but then all of a sudden these specific ones kill you.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what are you trying to tell the player right now? That, like, what you learned before is incorrect? Or are you trying to say there's nothing to learn, so just deal with it?
It's a major
problem.
problem.
That seems like bad design to me.
It's a major problem with those Superstars bosses as well, is just the balancing. The things that they chose to make instant kill deaths. But then there's also things like the lack of checkpoints. I understand Sonic boss fights don't usually have checkpoints, but that's because you can wail on them at your own pace, meaning that you can get skilled enough to take down the first phase in a couple of seconds. Same is true of a game like Sonic Frontiers. If I die fighting the end in Final Horizon, I'm not too frustrated because I can beat the Supreme Titan in a few seconds if I need to, you know? Like, I've gotten it down to a point where I know how to just beat the guy down, whereas with Superstars, it's all done at the boss's own pace. When they are in view and available for you to attack, they have very staggered vulnerability times and stuff like that. So if you're going to design a boss that way, and then you're going to have it be like a multi-phase thing like Fang, for example, you need some kind of checkpoint in there, because otherwise, when I'm replaying the first phase of the Fang finale, I'm not getting better at it. I'm getting bored of it, you know? Like...
Yeah. No, I've always agreed with that. And that's been a problem with games for a long time. Like, that's why games that have live systems and will give you game overs and you have to redo a bunch of shit always kind of got on my nerves, because I'm not learning to get better at the part that I lost at.
Yes.
You're making me redo the stuff I already did. And I'm not trying to go back in time and say, like, oh, Mario Bros. 1 shouldn't have had a life system. I'm saying... Like, when you can go in and practice the thing that you're bad at and keep doing it until you win. Something like I frequently reference the Mega Man Zero and ZX collection. Those games had, especially Zero 1, had some extreme problems when they came out. Because Zero 1, if you played through a level and died too many times, that mission would be removed from your game. You would move on with the story, you wouldn't get to play it anymore. So... that doesn't really help you improve as a player. That just means, hey, I'm so bad at this, I don't get to play it anymore. But then in these ports, these remastered ports, they added a mode that lets you bypass the life system.
Yeah.
So you can keep throwing yourself at this boss fight until you learn it, because Mega Man is about learning the bosses and getting better at them.
Let me tell you, nothing hurt more than, like, getting to Death Egg in Sonic 2 and trying to fight the Death Egg robot, and then getting game over there of all fucking places.
How much do you have to redo if you get a game over there? Is it just Mecha Sonic? Or
no,
sorry,
when,
not Mecha Sonic.
When I say
Soda
game
Sonic?
over, I mean game over in the original. So as in, like, game over. Out of lives. Out of one-ups.
Do you have to restart? There's no save feature?
You have to play from Emerald Hill again.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's gross. But I mean, I guess back then, again,
that's again the original game back on the Mega Drive. Yeah. That was normal, like that was a standard fair practice. But I can tell you, I had done that once. I did a full playthrough and got game over at the Death Egg robot, and I could not think of anything more demoralizing.
Yeah, see, for something like that, at the time, I can't fault them as much for that. And you know, it's because that's the norm, and they were trying to make it so the game lasted long.
But I have another question. When it comes to, like, Superstars and the skill issue accusations, when it comes to Trip's story, it's like you just need to get good at it. Who the fuck enjoyed Trip's story enough to ever even want to get good at it anyway?
That's another big point that I always think about, like with a lot of games. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example for this, because there are a lot of games that I've talked about on my channel, and people have been like, well, you're just not good at it. And it's like, I don't want to be good at it, because like the first experience, like, if something sucks when you play it the first time, if you don't like how something is designed or how bullshit certain things are, like Trip Story, for example, I don't want to replay those levels to get better at them. That feels like a huge waste of time. Like,
Yeah,
I've seen that they respect you with... Okay, that's a harsh statement. I don't mean that. I've seen that they don't take your time seriously by making the story as stupid as it is. So I don't want to sit there and keep playing it to make it feel better. Like, they should have just made it not as dumb in the first place.
Well, that's another thing. I've seen some debate on Twitter about, like, the importance of story in a classic Sonic game, and I've seen some people kind of say, okay, but, like, Superstars, like, no... I think one person said, if Sonic Superstars had a better story, it would be a bit more on par with Mania. I think I disagree with. And then someone responded, no one ever played a Sonic game for the story, so trust me, that's not the reason. The story really doesn't matter. And that I also disagree with. Because, okay, I don't think a story is integral to a classic Sonic game being good, but there's a reason why a lot of people consider 3 to be the best one. Like, 3 is the one that has the story. And that story is interwoven with the gameplay as well. And it's that
Very
makes Sonic 3 as good as it is.
It's something that I don't think is entirely necessary. Like, if you look at things like Sonic Advance 1 and 2, they don't have... Like, a Sonic Advance 2 has a few cutscenes, but, like, Sonic Advance 1, let's say, that game was the one to sort of bring things back to the basics. It's almost like, you know, attempting a Sonic 4 before Sonic 4 happened. That game doesn't have very much of a story aside from the intro cutscene, and I think that's completely fine. I don't think it needs to have it. Sonic 3's story being told the way it is and just working well is a nice bonus on top of a game that's already great, but I wouldn't say, like, I played it for the story. You know, it's not like Sonic Frontiers where that's part of it, like where I'm like, I want to know the story.
Yeah.
When I play a classic game, I don't think I really care if there's a story or not, because it's like...
As Webster
says,
like...
It's about the gameplay.
Mega Drive SNES era games have plots about as important as porn plots. Nice to have, but not the reason you're here. The thing is, though, it's the plot that, for me, makes Sonic 3 and Knuckles better than Sonic 2. Although, that and not having Metropolis Zone.
Okay, alright, that could definitely be a point of contention, I can see.
Like,
I mean, you know me, I always talk about story. I love story in games, but there are some games where I feel like it's just not super necessary.
Have you ever seen Game Apologists' video on why Sonic 3 and Knuckles matters?
I think I was in that video.
Damn.
So, yes.
Well, there was
That's the one where he had a bunch of guests, right? Am I thinking of the right video?
Yes. There are so many things that I didn't even think about, because not just that Sonic 3 and Knuckles has cutscenes, Sonic 3 and Knuckles also has things like you running from a carpet bombing from Dr. Robotnik, things like you getting in the Eggmobile during the launch base boss fight, things like the shrine in the background of the Hidden Palace and stuff like that. There's so much rich narrative that is just happening all in the background. And it's that stuff there that really, really elevates Sonic 3 above games like Sonic 2 and Sonic CD for me.
Yeah, no, I agree that it definitely it can elevate a game, but I do sort of agree both ways with, like, you know, I'm not going to pick up a classic Sonic game, nor do I think I ever will, unless it's explicitly, like, marketed in the way that, like, hey, this is classic Sonic Adventure, where we're telling a story, you know, like, if they make it part of the point of it, then I'd be like, okay, the story matters.
But then, okay.
But in Superstars, I think the story they tell is very, very sparse, and it doesn't matter all that much to me, because it feels about on par with, like, you know, like the sections of Mania where they leave the level and they go to the next one? That's kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Like, they just have little sections where it's like, hey, we're going to justify how this happens, or, you know, Trip shows up and becomes a fucking dragon for 30 seconds, which is pretty cool.
I feel like
it's fine. It's like a little spice on top, like what Webster was saying. You know, I agree very much with what Webster said. That makes sense to me. That's how I feel about it.
Story is better if you take out the final story. if the idea is Robotnik is searching for a dragon and the twist is that Trip was the dragon all along. That's how I interpreted it the first time I played it, and I thought that was fine. But then it turns out, no, there just is a real dragon, and it's like, he has nothing to do with it. But then also, like, another thing that you could easily just carve out of it is the fucking Egg Fortress that has nothing to do with anything else in the rest of the game. Like, it was one of those things where I was playing through Egg Fortress wondering, like, why isn't this hitting? Like, it's just another Eggman Fortress, you know? Like, it's no worse than Scrap Brain or you know, your typical sort of, you know, final level Sonic thing. But I was just like, you know, the problem is there's absolutely no calling for it. Like, why does he have a space base in this? He hasn't done shit in space. He's here for the island. What's he doing?
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Like, having it be sort of disconnected does feel a little weird. I feel like it was a little more appropriate that you would jump around between so many varied locations
it was also,
in Mania when you were being thrown around by the Phantom Ruby. But
it's also the reason
I do agree that the base in that one is, like, kind of... Like, I could see if it was a base and you could see, like the island out of the window.
Yeah, and
you know,
maybe
like,
he was
that might have
doing
worked
something...
better for the story, in air quotes. But at the end of the day, I just thought it was a neat level that was maybe a little too long.
But that's the problem, is, like, there's nothing in that space base that pertains to the giant flickies of the island. There's nothing that pertains to the dragon.
Or the dragon.
And there's nothing... We've got a clock reversing time, which has nothing to do with anything. So it's like, none of it has anything to do with anything. It's one of those things where it would be a dope-ass final level in a Sonic game about time travel or something, but it just has no place here. And it was
just
weird.
A cool idea they had, you know, and they just kind of threw it in there, which I agree. I understand just putting something in the game that's cool. But I also see what you mean by, like, it doesn't have any correlation. That is kind of distracting. Now that you mean.
It's why it doesn't hit. Like, when you go to Scrap Brain Zone in Sonic 1, the game has had that sort of nature versus industrialization theme going through it anyway. You know, you see Robotnik's robots around, you see Robotnik is very much a mechanically inclined man, so for that final level, you go to a mechanically inclined place. Like, great. Okay. Sonic 2. Like, you know that, like, the Death Egg is a thing, so the final stage is aboard the Wing Fortress going to the Death Egg. So that works. And we've just had a stage before that where you're on the plane anyway, so that also helps to contextualize things. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the Death Egg is really built up throughout the entirety of the game, and when you're there, there's a sense of, like, foreboding to it, you know? And in Mania, it doesn't really set out anything to really end up with, you know? Like, so the Titanic Monarch is just... It's an Eggman base you see in the background of Stardust Speedway, and you saw it in the background of... And
you don't even really do that until the updates, too.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't there until they updated the game.
Okay,
so, like, and I never really questioned it, because, like...
That's revisionism.
Again, in Mania... The status quo is you're being teleported all over Timbuk 3.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
I didn't have much problem with it. But like then they added those extra bits of little world building, and I was like, oh, okay. Alright, so they saw the egg monarch, the monarch zone, whatever the fuck you said it was.
There's nothing that contradicts...
Titanic Monarch, sorry.
There's nothing that contradicts the Titanic Monarch's reason to be there. Whereas Superstars... It sets itself out as, this is all about the North Star Islands, you know? And, yeah,
I didn't even know
Kevin M. is making a great point here. Klonoa, unironically, does environmental storytelling very, very well. Play Klonoa. Like, the classic Sonic games did a really solid job of environmental storytelling, and it reached its peak in Sonic 3. Sonic Mania does it well enough to get by for the story it's trying to tell. I think Sonic Superstars kind of fails at it.
Yeah, and again, I just want to throw in that this is not a point to be like, this game sucks! It's just, you know, it's something they could have done better.
Yeah, I like Sonic Superstars. Like, I probably...
Yeah, you know, it's funny that we've had this whole thing talking about the Superstars backlash on Twitter and stuff. Pop, like, loves that game. Like, he goes to bat for that game every time I say I don't like it. Like, he has such a high opinion of it, and this is how... a healthy discussion should go. Like, he likes that game. He has plenty of things he can tell you he likes about it.
I do hate
but that does not mean... Yeah, it doesn't mean that he can't talk about its faults, or, like, if you talk about its faults that you immediately hate something. I think that's one of the big problems about, you know, all this dogpiling stuff that happens in the fan base. Like, I like, people are talking to him on Twitter like he thinks the game is a miserable pile of shit, but that can't be farther from the truth.
I remember when
Like,
people did the
he
same
really
with Sonic
liked-
Frontiers Final Horizon as well. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it happens with every Sonic game.
anytime you say anything bad about it or anything that is even remotely deliberately hyperbolic, like, God, whatever happened to Spice, man? Whatever happened to Spice?
I don't know. Spice is nice.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me cry on your shoulder for a bit, Dylan.
It's okay. I'm here for you, man.
Yeah, I'm now sucking my thumb. Suck.
All right, that's enough. Don't do that.
Oh, that ain't
You
my
can't
thumb.
show this weakness online.
That ain't my thumb. That's Garrulous's
Oh.
chode.
Don't say that. That's not me. All right. Well,
Okay.
anyway, you have more to say about Superstars, or I don't
some-
think I have much else to say.
We got some more news.
Okay, yeah, let's keep going.
Alright, so there's a selection of new Sonic squishy toy blind bags that you can get. And I'm going to put a picture up on the stream for the visual viewers. Once again, audio listeners, go fuck yourselves.
Hey,
so-
Red Hot Sonic in the chat. There's a story for Superstars?
Yeah,
Exactly.
But yeah, we've got these new Sonic squishy toy blind bags. And Dylan, are you actually watching the stream right now? Can you see these?
No, hold on. I usually open the chat and close the
Do you want
stream.
me-
so I
I'll,
don't
just,
know.
I'll describe them anyway for the audio listeners. So from like left to right, top to bottom, we've got Rouge, we've got Blaze, we've got Silver. Also, bear in mind these are in the Sonic and Friends art style. So we have a Sonic and Friends universe Rouge, but yeah, we got Rouge, Blaze, Silver, a Happy Sonic, Amy, Metal Sonic with hearts for eyes for some reason, Tails, Shadow,
Okay.
Robotnik, Angry Sonic, Super Shadow, and Knuckles. It's so
Okay,
interesting.
I was gonna say, when you said Happy Sonic, I was like, that implies the existence of an unhappy Sonic, and I guess that's right where that is.
There he is, yeah. I would love to get Unhappy Sonic and Shadow. And I love the fact that he, Shadow, and Robotnik are all together and they all look fucking furious. I like to think that they're just really mad about something. They saw my tweet
That's awesome.
about Sonic Superstars. Something
I would
find-
really like to have a little silver one. That's kind of nice. But you said they're blind bags?
I think they're blind bags, yes.
Okay. I
However,
get too
you can
addicted to those
usually,
things.
unless they do some bullshit like wrapping cardboard or plastic around them, you can usually feel for the character that you want. I think these are all nice. I'd be happy to get any of them.
I feel like if they're squishy, though, it's kind of difficult to tell, you know?
It's still kinda like like with Sonic, it's distinctive enough. You can feel his little quills. Amy
Oh, I
or
wanna
Robotnik. Would
what are they
be-
called?
I don't know. They're just called squishies, I guess.
Squishy Sonic.
I think
Toys.
Amy or Robotnik would be fairly hard to tell because they've both got very round heads in this, and Robotnik's moustache doesn't protrude much. Tails or Rouge would also be quite difficult to tell apart. Sonic and Shadow, you could probably mistake them. And yeah, regular Shadow or Super Shadow, Angry Sonic or Happy Sonic, yeah, again, quite difficult. But I think Silver would be easy enough because he's got that little pot leaf on his face. What I find very interesting, though, is that we've got a Super Shadow but no Super Sonic.
Huh. Yeah, that is kind of weird. I didn't think of that until you just mentioned that. That's
It is his year.
Sonic Movie 3 spoilers, perhaps?
Only Super Shadow
No.
will be in that movie, no Super Sonic.
That could be a cool way. Okay, alright, so this is going to be like way off topic, but because of that, that could be a way for them to justify Shadow dying. Because in the games, I really don't think there's any way to justify Sonic not saving Shadow in that moment. Like, what the fuck was he doing? You know, like, so if Shadow's the only one to become Super in the movie, he fights off a lot of stuff on his own with Sonic helping on the sidelines somehow. That would at least explain how he dies.
Yeah, we
Because, like,
also-
what are they going to say in the movie that Sonic watches him die and he's like, oh, that's too bad. Looks like a skill issue, buddy.
Whoa, bummer. Like, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is in the movie, like, in the game, the explanation is obviously running out of rings and stuff, but in the movies, they don't really have that logic with
This is where I watched my parents die, Raphael. How a bummer.
Shadow died. All right. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. So
It's his
squishy blind bag things. It's pretty cool. I'm down. I'm always down for cool merch, more merch.
Yeah, I've got a Squishy Tails head that I bought when I went to pick up my copy of the Spider-Man 2 game. But it's just a head.
Oh, these are not the right ones. You just beheaded him.
Yeah. So, I can't believe it took us this long to get through the news. And I'm not going to talk about Sonic's Japanese voice actor like in porn on Twitter. If he wants to like porn on Twitter, let him like porn on Twitter. There's no shame.
This is just like the Kishimoto thing, right? Where people were like, oh my god, man likes porn.
He's claiming he was hacked. As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't have to justify himself to me. I don't fucking care. You want to be a little fruity? By all means. This is 2024. Let your penis explore. But okay. So last week, you and me got in a little fight about Sonic Unleashed.
Okay.
About the werehog.
Yeah, that's true.
You were refusing to admit that the werehog and Sonic 1 are the exact same playstyle. So, it did inspire...
They're not.
For a topic here, shut up, we could talk about how we became Sonic fans in the first place, and what was the game to really do it, you know?
Right, no, I thought that was a great idea. And since you're going to talk about Sonic Unleashed...
how do you know that?
Because you told me that was your first Sonic game, and that's why you go to bat for it so much.
It wasn't my first Sonic game. We've been over this. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
We'll get to me.
That's what you said.
No, it's not what I fucking said.
I swear that's what you said. You said this is the first time I played Sonic. I will give you the answers
of which you search, but first you must do something for me.
Okay.
How did you become a Sonic fan?
Alright, I'll go first. So, I feel like I mentioned it before on the podcast at least once, but I became a Sonic fan. So it's a bit of a longer road than you might think, because like I talk about Sonic all the time now, and I, do primarily Sonic content on the internet. But like when I was a little kid, I grew up mainly with Mario and Nintendo stuff, and the only Nintendo-based consoles that had Sonic stuff. Okay, that's a bad way to start that, because like a lot of them do now. But like the first time Sonic was on Nintendo was on the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance. So these are the games that I started my Sonic adventure with. No pun intended. But I started with Sonic Adventure. That was my first Sonic game, and then I very quickly afterwards got Sonic Advance, which I didn't like as a kid, because I thought it was really fucking difficult. I've changed my opinion a bit since then, and I now think it is fun, but also unfair in a lot of times.
Bro. Skill issue,
I know.
Just admit you're fucking bad at the game, bro.
I also, Sonic Adventure was something I loved playing. That was something I really, really enjoyed, but I never really delved too much into the Sonic series, because for a while I didn't even really use the internet for much stuff, so like I wouldn't research things. But I eventually, after playing Sonic Adventure, I would play Sonic 1 on the Wii Shop channel, and I didn't like it at all, because I thought it was going to be like Sonic Adventure. Again, I was a child, so I didn't understand.
Wait, which
and
Sonic
from
was
there,
on the Wii again?
Sonic 1 on the Wii Virtual Console.
Oh, I can see why.
Like, I bought it because I was like,
game fucking garbo.
Like I was like, oh, I was expecting it to be like Sonic Adventure because I didn't understand that, like, I didn't understand a lot back then. So it's like a child moment,
Yeah.
So played that, didn't like it very much, but I would play Sonic games over the years. Sonic Adventure 2 at a friend's house. I would play Sonic 06, Sonic Heroes. I had Shadow the Hedgehog. And eventually I got to the point where I was like, okay, I've played a lot of these games, but I only really like Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2. But then, around 2011, when Sonic Generations was coming out, I had seen that they were including levels from all of the previous games, or like a majority of them. So I was like, hey, I always kind of was interested in that series, but I didn't, and I was in high school by this point. I was a freshman in high school, which is the first year of high school for anyone who doesn't know. And I was like, I do want to get into this. I want to know more about this. So I went back and I started playing all the games. I played the classics. I played every game I could get my hands on. And I think it's at that point I started to really feel like I was a fan. Like I got to play the classics and I enjoyed them after not liking them as a kid. I went back and experienced some of the games I didn't like Shadow and Heroes and stuff, and formed some of the opinions that I still have to this day. Like, I like Adventure 1 and 2, Heroes not so much, Shadow not so much. I definitely changed my opinion of Sonic 06, because as a kid I just thought it was a better Sonic adventure, because I was a stupid child. And usually, like, better graphics made me just think something was better, because I was a child. I don't have to justify it any more than that.
Yeah.
So Sonic Generations is really the thing that turned me around on Sonic. It got me to look into more of it, and I just have to give it to Sonic Adventure for giving me that first step when I first played it. I just thought it was cool enough, and the characters had all this fun personality that I didn't get from Mario very much. And yeah, that's how that goes.
Well, damn. Is there, like, any Sonic game that you would attribute it all to, though? One where, like, that's the one?
Adventure. I would say Adventure was the one where I was like, this is something cool that I had never really gotten from another game before.
Yeah. Understandable. And wait, when exactly was it you played Sonic Adventure again?
I played Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube, so it would have been... I don't know when that came out. Sonic Adventure DX, hold on. Release date?
So it would have been around the time of its release then?
Probably? So, I mean, like, I can't tell... Hold on, DX Director's Cut. It's giving me the original release date. It was definitely not 1998. DX Director's Cut was released in 2003, so probably around then I was maybe 6 or 7 years old?
He was 6 years old.
6 years old, yeah.
Dicks out for sticks. Actually, I don't like the context of that. I'm gonna pretend I didn't say that.
Gonna revise.
Yeah, we're just gonna revise that whole thing. Well, damn. Fucking... So, do you seek the answers to my fucking mysteries, then?
Yeah, let us hear it. I wanna know.
Sonic Unleashed was not my first Sonic game, you fucking pillock.
Alright, hold on. First of all, I just checked the chat. I did invite Red Hot Sonic to the... I said, when we were playing Sonic Advance 3, I can literally find it in the stream. I said, we want to have you on the stream. What are you talking about
for the audio listeners here? What are you talking about?
I can see it in the chat. I can see where Pup is making me look bad in front of the listeners.
So which one of us is making you look bad?
I don't know. You probably.
How
I feel
is
like
it me?
that's
He's
your
the
deal.
one that said you didn't invite him, so I'm the best friend.
I did invite him. I invited.
You said you should come on sometime. That's not an invite.
That's basically inviting. I don't plan the guests usually.
Like,
it's him.
Hey, buddy, I'm getting married. You should come along sometime.
That I feel like that is a much different.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna die. You should come to my funeral someday. I mean, to be fair, you did at least attend that, so I can't fault you there.
Yeah. Okay, tell us your shit.
Just seeing Red Hot Sonic's comments.
He's a funny man, that guy.
You
He's
two
a
have
funny
communicational issues. I can see why you broke up, why you're with me now, you bitch.
guy.
Gonna spank you on the stoma. But okay.
Oh god, don't say that to me.
That would hurt, right?
Well, there's no nerve endings in it,
right,
but it
yeah,
would definitely fucking bleed. Fucking gross.
Yeah, he's on his period, guys.
I'm shit. I'm sorry, Red. I don't like it when we fight.
All right. Anyways, back to the topic. Red, we will get you on someday soon. Shall we just get him on next week?
I'm down. I'm fine whenever.
Red,
whenever you got time, dude.
Next week, let's see. What would the date be? Next week at okay, the 12th of April at 8 p.m. your time. You're British, right? Is he British?
Yes.
Right, yeah. Finally. Finally getting represented on this fucking show. All right, well, you just let me know if that's okay with you, pal. There we go. Fuck. Okay.
Sounds good. If not next week, we could always do the following. That's no problem.
No, we can't do that's just not a possibility.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Next week is the final episode. But okay, Dylan. What? I want you to guess what my first Sonic game was.
Okay.
I want you to guess.
See, this is the part where I'm starting to have trouble because Pup gaslights me fucking all the time.
Fuck off! I do not gaslight you all the time.
I swear you told me the first Sonic game you played was Sonic Unleashed, and that's why you were like,
No.
you're so invested in it, and why you were fighting so hard. Is that part of the gaslighting from when you were gaslighting me last time?
Yeah, it turns out I hate Sonic Unleashed. No, you fucking bitch.
I don't, like, that's my problem with some people. I don't understand. It's like you and my friend Tyler. My friend Tyler has been gaslighting me since, like, the day I met him. So it's so difficult for me to tell,
the
like...
kind of guy to gaslight.
No, Tyler's not Chowmix. Tyler's one of my friends from over here where I live, where I went to school with and stuff.
Chowmix's name is definitely Tyler, though.
No, it's not.
Speaking of Tyler, I'm wearing a Weezer shirt. God, this is just becoming less and less sensible by the second, isn't it?
Okay, so you want me to guess what your first Sonic game was?
Yeah, I want you to guess who my first Sonic game was.
It's not... Do you promise me that you were...
No, I promise you that there's no gaslighting going on here. It will make sense when you hear me kind of go back over it, when you hear me retread it. It will make so much sense, and you'll realize what a good and honest friend I am.
Oh, God. It's so difficult to get into your head. I don't know when you're lying to me.
I'm not, so difficult. How about I just... Okay, I'll tell you, I'll give you one piece of information right now, okay? I am not lying to you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to choose to believe that. So you were not lying.
I was not lying.
It's not Sonic Unleashed.
When I said it wasn't Sonic Unleashed. The first Sonic game I ever played was also the first game I ever played.
The first game you ever played, and you're basically my age. You're only like 2 months younger than me.
I thought I was 2 months older than you. You were born in May, weren't you?
No, I was born in March.
Oh, right, February. Got it.
Right, so... What would your first Sonic game have been? You had to have been at least, like, probably 4 or 5. Most likely, because you can't remember before that, typically. That's when you start forming memories.
Okay.
I'm gonna say... Well, I guess you could have played one of the early ones. What did you play, Sonic 3 first? Is that your first one?
Oh, I wish. No. I didn't play Sonic 3 until after Unleashed.
Okay, what was it, was it Sonic Adventure?
It was not Sonic Adventure.
Was it Sonic Adventure 2?
It was not Sonic Adventure 2. I'll give you one more attempt. You get one more attempt. Clock's ticking, Dylan.
I don't know. Is it... I'm trying to think. Like, if it was your first ever video game, I imagine you started playing video games when you were able to.
I would imagine
so. That would have made it. That would have made it. It would have had to have been something on the GBA or the GameCube, right?
I didn't own a Nintendo until the Switch. Remember?
Was it Sonic Heroes?
It was not Sonic Heroes.
Fuck. All right. What was it?
Okay, someone in the chat has put the correct answer.
It was Sonic 1?
It was Sonic 1.
That was, I was gonna say that instead of Heroes, but I was like, what are the odds of just you having a Mega Drive lying around?
I actually do have a Mega Drive.
Well, I mean, when you were a child, you know, like, and decided to play that one. Okay, so I wasn't too far off of Sonic 3. That was my first guess.
Yeah, so I think it
surprises
people to know that given that I have openly said I prefer the 3D games and stuff like that, I think it probably surprises people to know that I actually grew up with the classics. Sonic 1 and 2 were two of the first video games I ever played. And that was back on my dad's Sega Mega Drive. And my sister and I would play Sonic 2 together, and I would play as Tails, she'd play as Sonic, we'd go do the multiplayer and stuff like that. And I enjoyed those games, but I didn't necessarily have, like, a Sonic boner or anything at that age. You know, like, at that time. I played those games when my age was in the
horrible way to phrase that, but yeah.
I played those games when my age was in the single digits, and that was kind of it. Sonic 1 and 2, that was it. I thought, genuinely, I saw an ad for it. I thought Sonic Heroes was the first 3D Sonic game when I first heard about it. I also thought it was the first appearance of Knuckles, because I remember seeing the cover for it in an Asda, which is basically one of our supermarket chains. Seeing the cover for it and seeing Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic on the covers and be like, I recognize Sonic and Tails. Who's this guy? You know? Like, I thought it was Knuckles' debut game. I asked for it for Christmas, But I also asked for another game, and my parents told me you could only have one. The 2 games I asked for were Sonic Heroes and The Incredibles Rise of the Underminer. And they said I could only have one, so I picked Incredibles Rise of the Underminer.
Good choice.
Now, I don't regret this. I don't regret this, because I do not regret the trajectory of history. So, something happens. 2007 rolls around, Spider-Man 3 rolls around, and I want Spider-Man 3 the game, so I get Spider-Man 3 the game for the PlayStation 2. But there's a bigger version of that game that I want to play, the Xbox 360 version, and a few years later, I get an Xbox 360, and I've got every intention of trading in some old PlayStation 2. But they had while I was on the way in, they had a little kiosk set up with Sonic Unleashed, and I played, I think, the very first act in the little demo thingy, and thought, hey, that's kind of cool. That's Sonic now, and I was gonna go trade the games in for Spider-Man 3, the game, and they said,
okay, sorry, wait. So Sonic Unleashed was your first 3D Sonic game then that you played?
Wait,
because you played it at that kiosk.
Wait, we'll get there. All right, I'll explain.
Is that why? That's why I thought.
No,
that's why I thought.
It's all going to become clear, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so basically, here's what influences the decision. The guy says, Spider-Man 3 is not in stock at the moment, but we could give you a coupon towards money off of Spider-Man 3 once it's back in stock and you can bring it in. Or you could choose another game for, a lower price tag and stuff. And my dad was like, well, you just checked out that Sonic game, right? Why not try that instead? And I was like, oh, but Dad, I want Spider-Man 3. He's like, just give it a chance, Like, you liked Sonic back in the day. And so, the trajectory of history has changed now. The future has taken root in the present, and that fateful day, I come home with Sonic Unleashed instead of Spider-Man 3 the game. A game that I've since gone on to play, and I hate, so fuck Spider-Man 3 the game. Sonic Unleashed is the reason I am on a Sonic podcast or talk about Sonic games on my channel at all. This was the game that made me obsessed with Sonic. At this point, I enjoyed Sonic Unleashed so much that I went back and dug up the Mega Drive, played Sonic 1 and 2 again, started looking into Sonic 3, started looking into emulators, played the adventure games and stuff like that, and I caught up within that same year that I played Sonic Unleashed for the very first time. So, you're probably thinking, Pup said Sonic Unleashed was his first Sonic game. No, Sonic Unleashed was the Sonic game that made me a Sonic fan. I think.
Yes. Okay, that's why I got confused. I think that's
where you got confused. Yeah.
That came from.
So no, I didn't fucking gaslight you, Dylan. What do you say?
You do gaslight me a lot, though.
What do you fucking say, Dylan?
Sorry, no, I apologize. That's.
Right, bring it in.
I don't know why it's like
bring it in.
An apology.
Hug it out.
But like I
hug it out.
Yeah, no, that was on me.
I'm gonna shoot hot hug all over you. That's it. Open your mouth, you little slut.
I hate that. Hate that a lot.
You got loads of hug in your mouth. Now swallow it.
Jesus. Okay. Gosh, you're my friend, Pup. You're my friend. You're my buddy.
Ah, fuck, friend zone. But yeah. So, yeah, fucking Sonic Unleashed, man. It was also not just the fucking like gameplay of it. It was also the story was getting me. Like I was like, man, it's like a Pixar movie. Fucking loved it.
It is. It is a bit like I feel like I would equate like for as much as I find it like I do like the story. I think it's a sweet little story. The cutscenes look great. I think that game is just like I wish I enjoyed it more because it represents so much of like a turnaround from the game that came before it, Like, not that you knew that at the time, obviously, but like looking at it now, like you can see how much they tried to revise the broken hearts that they caused.
They really tried this time. But like another thing that kind of really struck a chord with me was I must have gotten this game in like 2009 or maybe 2008. I think I'm guessing early 2009. But in 2008, my parents took me on holiday to a place called Lindos in Greece. And so when I booted up Sonic Unleashed for the first time and I saw Apotos, I was like, whoa! Well, this is just like where I went on holiday earlier. Like, that was like a moment for me was like recognizing this location and this hub world and stuff, and being like, man, the architecture is so similar. I'd been to a place very similar to Apotos before that, so like there were so many things that just made this perfect storm for Sonic Unleashed. And I also think
That's cool.
it is a good jumping on point because the production values of that game feel really high compared to other Sonic games. So I kind of thought that all the other Sonic games would have that kind of graphical quality and stuff like that. I kind of thought, well, Sonic must have like a reputation for good animation and graphics and stuff, right? It's so funny learning that no, it fucking doesn't. But like,
they did it the one time, and then they were like, we can't do that again. That was too cool.
I'm kind of glad that I didn't get Sonic Heroes that Christmas, because I don't know how I can't say how I would have reacted to it. Maybe I would have loved it as a kid, and it would have led me to buy Unleashed and stuff like that, but I don't know if it would have led to me being as kind of obsessed with Sonic as Unleashed made me. Like, I cared a great deal about Chip. The Werehog, when I first picked it up, I was like, this isn't as fun. This is kind of a bit beat-em-up-y, and I don't really like beat-em-ups. It's one of those things where over time I've grown to like Werehog. But yeah, it was probably like my favorite game on the Xbox 360 for a good few years. And I'd still probably say it is my favorite Xbox 360 game. But like, yeah, dude, like I ate the shit out of that. Like, as for Rise of the Underminer, it was alright. It was okay.
Yeah, I never got to play that one, but I played the original.
If you played the original,
game,
then Rise of the Underminer will be a letdown. Maybe.
Oh, shit. Actually, wait a minute. I have a great story about that specifically. I just realized I didn't tell this on the podcast. This is something I mentioned on Sam's stream the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we were just so bored of, like, because, like, the story mode of Sonic Battle was so fucking grueling to watch Sam go through.
Yeah.
So I got to the point where I was just telling stories I came up with, and we were talking about cheat codes, and I remember specifically in the Incredibles GameCube version, I had the little cheat code book that I got at the Scholastics book fair, and it had the Incredibles in there. So there were things like, I remember one cool cheat they had was you could type in Gazer Beam,
yes,
like the character from the movie, and he gets laser eyes that attack enemies automatically.
I remember that. Yeah, and that was awesome.
It's cool as shit. And then, like, there's another code that was, and as a child, I read it. It said invincibility. And I entered the cheat, and I was like, why the fuck can I still see him? Because as a child, I was like, I thought it meant invisibility, and I thought, like, I didn't know what invincibility meant, so I was like, this is stupid, this one didn't work. And that's basically my only experience with Incredibles games. I liked the original GameCube game, and that's about it.
Yeah, so the original game, like, it had combat elements, but it also had, like, a lot of, like, little platforming bits, and, there was quite a bit of exploration. The playstyles were quite varied up between the different hero characters, and it had some puzzles.
Remember, Dash had one level where you run across water or something, and I thought that was cool as hell. So I guess I was always kind of a Sonic fan.
Going back, like, yeah, Dash's levels feel like a prototype of Boost Sonic. Like, you could tell me that maybe, like, Sega looked at that, and I would absolutely believe it.
There's fucking zero chance that was what happened.
I think that is exactly what happened. I think that happened.
But also, like, there's also, like, that Sonic Rush had the boost before Unleashed, and I was asking my friend the other day, do you think that, actually, was this you? Was I talking to you about this? Do you think, no, I think this was, I was talking to Red Hot Sonic about it on the stream we did the other day. Do you think that Sonic Team told them that they were making this new Sonic game with the boost mechanic, and they were like, maybe you could try and put this in 2D, or do you think that the Dimps team came up with the idea of the boost, and then Sonic Team was like, oh shit? Or do you think it was just a coincidence and they both did it? Because, like, obviously they would have been checking in and seeing how the game development was going.
I reckon Dimps probably did it first.
How much hand do you think they had it?
I reckon Dimps probably did it first, and then Sonic Team were like, well, that was received well, so let's put that into our games going forward. And then put little 2D bits in as, like, an homage.
Because Rush was 2005, right? So that would have been a couple years before Unleashed, but it's not... Well, I mean, actually, I guess they could have still been working on 06. They were probably working on that thing until it just got shoved out the door.
At that time. They wouldn't have started Unleashed. It would have been
Yeah.
'06 and Project Wildfire, or fucking.
Interesting that I just thought of that
I
just
think
now.
it
Like
is,
it's very strange.
I think Dimps were the people that kind of like spearheaded the boost. But I do not doubt for a second that like Sega looked at The Incredibles when it came to like choosing to do like the Adabat stage where you're like running on water, because it's a very similar kind of environment. You're running on the water like Dash does. I think they absolutely took inspiration, whether it's from the film or the game. I think they took inspiration from Dash, from The Incredibles. Like, but back to kind of what I was saying is like, yeah, Incredibles 1 was very much kind of like a puzzle platformer kind of thing. Rise of the Underminer is just a straightforward button bashing beat 'em up, effectively. So it was pretty disappointing. It's got really good art direction, I think. And like there are some elements of it that I would love to see in like a Sonic game. Like being able to play as Frozone was really cool. Like I'd love to see like a game where you could just swap out Underminer with Robotnik, swap out Mr. Incredible with Sonic, and swap out Frozone with Shadow or something. But like yeah. It's an okay game. What I find so weird though is on the cover of the game it says Disney presents a Pixar film. It's not a
And it's a video game.
Yeah. It literally says on the cover, Disney presents a Pixar film, and it makes me wonder if maybe they had a plan to do like a straight-to-DVD Incredibles sequel that just kind of fell through, but they just continued working on like the game or something. I don't know, I'm sure there's got to be like a lot of lore behind like this game's existence, and I want to find out more.
Could be. Did they have the... Okay, I haven't seen Incredibles 2 in a long time now. Did they have the Underminer at the very beginning of that movie? It was one of those, like, we start at the end and then we do a time skip. Was that how it worked?
Yeah, so
I don't remember.
It starts directly, like immediately after the first film.
Okay, so yeah, maybe there was something there at first, like they were gonna do a sequel, like, way earlier, and then they didn't.
The Underminer is a much more formidable threat in Rise of the Underminer as well. I mean, go figure, he's the main villain of that
Yeah,
game.
no kidding, he's the main villain.
But, like, dude's got, like, so much fucking machinery. He's got these underground bases that take you way under the city, and, like, he's got all these different droids and shit. It's like, fuck, man. The Underminer is fucking cool.
He's got droids as well?
Yeah, he's got droids. He's got this thing called, like, the Magnemizer Guardian, which is, like, a fucking plasma ball with a body. Like, shit, dude. Like, yeah, the Underminer in Rise of the Underminer is so much cooler than he is in Incredibles 2, but I still do like Incredibles 2. Like, I think it's a decent sequel.
Yeah, I only saw it once. I don't remember anything about it, really.
Undermine is probably a better villain than Screenslaver. That also, another unlocked memory. It's somewhere in Germany, they were doing, like, an airing of The Incredibles, the first one, and The Incredibles 2 had kind of just come out very recently, but what they did was they played The Incredibles and then directly after played 10 minutes of The Incredibles 2. So it was like you got to see the Underminer fight on TV to kind of promote it. And it kind of just went in seamlessly. I was like, this is really weird.
That's kind of cool. That's surprising they did that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a new final battle for the film, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Man, the Underminer is cool as fuck.
Set the Lego Incredibles game... There's a Lego Incredibles game? Do you mean the one is that in, like, Lego Dimensions or something?
No, there is a Lego Incredibles. I do have it on Steam. I haven't touched it, but I got it in, like, a sale. Interestingly, it is the two Incredibles movies, but it starts with the second one for some reason. I think it, like, starts with the second one and it flashbacks to the first.
It's because it's newer. I assume they wanted to capture the newer fans immediately, right?
I guess, but imagine, like, you buy the game at the time Incredibles 2 comes out, and it's like, you don't want to spoil Incredibles 2. It's like, oh, just play the first story and stop there. It does remind me of...
it's kind of weird.
You ever see the Bond movies? Do you ever see the movie Quantum of Solace?
I think I did see Quantum of Solace. I'm not a huge James Bond person, but, like, I did see that version, because Daniel Craig looks like my grandpa a little bit.
Interesting. With my Xbox came a copy of Quantum of Solace, the game. Really good game, actually. But what's interesting is Quantum of Solace is only the first couple of levels in that game. The rest is a flashback to Casino Royale, which I'm not complaining. Casino Royale is the much better movie of the two. But it's just weird, like, how sometimes, like, there's not enough story to put in the game, so they'll just, like, add in the previous movie that they didn't do a game of, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. Was that even like a Daniel Craig Bond movie, or was that like a...
Oh, Casino Royale, yeah, that is a Daniel Craig. That was the first Daniel Craig Bond movie.
It is. Oh, okay.
Best
Well,
of
that's
them,
interesting.
in
That's
my
like a
opinion. I think Casino Royale is the best Bond film. Certainly has the best
crazy
opening
that the
credits.
first one he did was the best one he did. That never happens with anything.
Yeah, dude. Quantum of Solace was
Anyway.
like written during the writers' strike, and you could fucking tell.
A little bit like... Wait, what's a little bit like COD? Like the first one that they did was the best one?
The Quantum of Solace video game is a lot like Call of Duty in kind of like gameplay.
Oh,
First-person
okay.
shooter. Yeah. Good game.
All right.
Really good game.
That's neat. Yeah, I can't stand... I just don't like first-person shooters very much. They just get on my nerves. I'm not good at them. I'm going to fully admit that that's like one of my main things. I'm not good at them. But also, it's one of those things I don't care to get better, because I don't enjoy the style of it, you know?
It's not something I gravitate towards, but I have picked up a first-person shooter every once in a while and enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I've played games like that with friends, like Halo and stuff, but it's always like I'm playing it because my friends are playing it, and I would never really play it on my own. The only game I really enjoyed like that was Fortnite, and that was because I didn't I know that's not a first-person shooter, just like a shooter in general. That game I enjoyed because I really liked doing like the missions and stuff. I thought the missions were fun. Well, that was way later. I was really into Fortnite like
Spider-Man.
a while back. Yeah, when Spider-Man was in it. I did the whole battle pass to get Spider-Man.
I did not play Fortnite until they had Spider-Man. I heard they had like really good web swinging. I was like, okay, I gotta check this out. I was like, whoa, this web swing is really cool. Yeah. Better web swing than Spider-Man PS4. Genuinely.
See, my friend would always ask me to play Fortnite with her. Like, me and like a couple other people would do like a squad thing.
You say her?
And I'd be like, yeah, one of my friends. So she would like, she would ask.
Friends?
It would literally be a few, yeah, but like,
I thought I was all the woman you needed.
Shut up, pup. And she wouldn't ask me to play it that much because she knew I didn't like it. But like occasionally, like she would, it was like her, like once a year, literally on her birthday, she'd be like,
"Is she single?"
No. Would you? Okay. So she would say like, "Would you play Fortnite with me because it's my birthday?" And I'd be like, "Okay, fine." So I'd install the game, and I think it was like 2 years ago. She asked me to play Fortnite, and I was like, "Okay."
She asked
and I installed the game.
Dude, she likes you.
No, she's been involved with someone for a long time. She were just pals, but like, so she asked me to play Fortnite. What about the other one?
Does she play Fortnite?
The other one's a dude.
You said there were other girls.
No, not in this party. I just have other friends that are girls. That's not what I said.
Did they play Fortnite?
Did they play Fortnite? I don't know.
Would they appreciate a small British dog man? Hook a brother up, bro. Like.
Anyway, so the point is, the most recent time that happened, which was I think 2 years ago, I saw that like I was waiting for everyone to be ready, and then I went into the shop because I was like, I've never looked through this, and Venom was in the shop, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I can play as Venom in this game? So I bought I literally spent money on this game that I had never spent money on before to get Venom. And I started making him do all the stupid little dances, and I was like, holy shit, I think I get it now. You know, so I was like, all right, okay, I'll try it out. Like, I was like, what if I actually try to enjoy playing the game instead of, like, playing it because I was requested to? And I tried to play it, I tried to, like, shoot and be good at the game, and I was like, wait a minute, doing the missions is fun. And that's how I finally got to the point where I was like, okay, I can play this game and not really be, like, miserable. Like, I can actually play this and have some kind of fun because Venom's in it. It was good. So, it was funny. But now I don't play it much anymore. Like, I play it when the Battle Pass has something good, like Peter Griffin or whatever, but other than that, I don't feel the need to play it.
So, these, lady friends of yours...
Stop it!
Got the digits?
No, I don't.
Just pass on, you know?
I'm not a little black book pup.
Maybe you could, like, show them my picture or something.
I'll show them your little avatar.
Maybe
they'll be like,
maybe show me their picture. I don't know, like, they could be gross.
No.
For all I know. Are they gross?
No, that's fucked up.
They're not gross.
They're my
Oh,
friends.
sick. Yeah, Dylan,
You gotta
Red Hot
slow your
Sonic
roll
up with
there,
some
pal.
women, man. Like, he's also single.
Can we talk about something else?
Dylan, look, like,
I am not a matchmaker.
Do you see?
I'm just
How
here.
do you know you're not a matchmaker? Have you tried?
Because I'm single. That's how I know I'm not a matchmaker.
Yeah, the best matchmakers are rarely the ones getting matched. Like, I'm a good
I also am
matchmaker.
not. I'm just not interested in having a relationship.
I fully
though.
credit myself with my buddy Danny getting married last year. I credit myself for that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I hope that's true. That's nice.
I mean, it was me that addressed that there was clearly some sexual tension between the two, and that night, they totally did stuff.
That night they got married.
But no, that night they, you know, what's the phrase? They had sex, and a relationship started shortly after, and now they're married. And it was me that was saying, "Look at you two," like when they were just like childhood friends. But I was just like, "Look at you two together. You just fuck."
Oh
already.
shit! They had like a backstory and everything.
Yeah, they had a backstory, but like I'd only met this lady like that same night, and I was the one like, "Look at you two. Wouldn't you make a nice little couple?" And oh my goodness, like it's me.
You know,
I did that.
You know, sometimes that's definitely not a good thing to say to people, but in that case, it sounds like that's what they needed to hear.
No, dude, I'm like the Tommy Tallarico of relationships, you know? Like...
You lie about everything?
No. What do you mean? Tommy Tallarico never lied about anything.
Oh yeah, nothing. He's never lied about a single... Have you seen, like, the 6 videos on YouTube that are all about him lying about shit?
No, but,
Actually, I spent all day yesterday rewatching both the H-Bomber guy video and, this other one about the Miko. That's so funny that you bring that guy up the day after I watch all these videos.
On my flight, I was listening to Slope's Game Room's video on the
That's the one!
Amico in television.
You were watching that yesterday?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I was watching that yesterday.
Bro!
Like, I had seen it before, and I just went back to watch it again, because I knew it was a long video, and I just needed something to listen to. That's so weird.
See, this is why I wish I was gay, because you'd make such a great little partner.
Shut up, Puff. Oh god, that's so coincidental, though.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, why am I not gay?
Yeah, if you haven't seen the H-Bomber guy video, also about the Roblox oof sound, that's a very good video.
I regret to inform, I've only ever seen one H-Bomber Guide video, and I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was absolutely... It was the plagiarism one. Obviously, it was the plagiarism one. Everyone was talking about it. I was like...
Go watch the other one that I just mentioned. Watch the Roblox oof one. It's all about Tommy Tallarico telling lies.
I do like hearing about Tommy Tallarico. He is kind of a character. I
He's
want
literally
a name
so
like
funny.
that, though. I want to be called Tommy Tallarico. He's got a great name.
He's got a cool name. I do agree.
I want
like
that name.
It's like... It's a fucking cool-ass name.
Yeah, that was another thing. I'm
saying these things because I'm just jealous of his cool name. That's all.
I had 2 co-workers when I worked at the fucking gas station that hooked up, and I knew about it. I overheard some stuff. And so, I don't think they knew I overheard it, but I was like, hey, you two should definitely, like bone, you know? Like, you two should, like, bone each other. And... And they were like, funny coincidence, we already have. I was like, there we go, I did that. I'm the best wingman. I did it.
Oh, you did that. I did that.
That was me. I did that.
That's awesome. He managed to get away with making a Bomberman clone and releasing it on current-gen platforms. Well, I feel like a lot of people make clones of video games, but it's just the other stuff that he's gotten away with is like... It's like, how do you manage to do this when there's, like, records of things?
So, Dylan, are you not giving me these ladies, like, contacts because you want me to die alone, or, like, what? Like, what's going on here?
Yes. Yeah, that's why.
That's really fucked up, dude.
I know, but you need to keep being available so we can keep doing the podcast. If you have, like, happiness, then you'll stop wanting to do the podcast.
That's not true, because, like, you know, bros before hoes.
You don't have an answer. Yeah, that only goes for so long, man.
It goes. All right, goes.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Like my current girlfriend was all like, "Yeah, you should hang out." And I was like, "Nah, I can't, babe. You know, doing a podcast."
Is that Rouge the Bat?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I know you too well at this point. You've backed yourself into a corner where now I understand you.
Well,
Aside from when you lie to me, then I don't understand you. But like,
what? That doesn't make any fucking sense. That's just like I understand you unless I don't, basically.
it's my favorite thing to do.
Dude,
The conundrum.
okay,
You have
so
to think about it.
Mr. Krabs was mentioning, no, that was Rivet from Ratchet and Clank. I just want to point out, I did think
Mr. Krabs?
I did think Rivet was kind of a baddie because of her voice. Like, literally, it was the voice. But then I found out that Jennifer Hale is kind of a... Apparently, she's a bit of a crazy lady or something. I don't want to get political. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought Rivet was kind of a baddie just because of the voice. I swear I'm not a furry. I promise you.
Pup, I don't know how much longer you can say that with all of the characters you talk about are furries.
Rouge is not a furry. Alright, let's
You
just
can't
get...
say that. She's a bat. Bats are made of fur.
No, they're not. They're made of all sorts of things. But, like, they're made of fur,
I know,
aren't they?
but they have fur.
Rouge doesn't. I mean, aside from her head, but that's just most women.
Never change, man. Never change.
She's human from the neck down, effectively. Aside from the tail, extra leverage, and the wings, which could lead to some fun instances of gravity getting involved.
People also used to have tails. People used to have tails as well. That's what we call a vestigial structure. It's something that we just don't have anymore. It's something that humans kind of evolved away.
So what you're saying, you're helping me. You're helping me.
No, I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah, your fact is in service of my point.
What? No, I didn't say bats have anything. Bats just have a tail because they're furry creatures.
Yeah, but Rouge the Bat, is she really a bat, though, when you think about it?
Unless she's lying on her identification, I would say, yeah, she's a bat.
I'm wondering when we're finally going to get an episode where we, like, just say, is it furry to want to fuck Rouge the Bat? Like, because the thing is, I would not take an actual
You just said
bat.
it now.
I would never take an actual bat and be like, it's time. You know, it wouldn't happen, you know? It hasn't happened, I promise.
Batman be like, ugh.
Actually, that reminds me of a video I did ages ago, on like the Batman Robert Pattinson origin story explained. And
Wait, wasn't that a Harley Quinn joke in the Harley Quinn show? He was talking about Batman fucking bats. Then he was like, I don't fuck bats.
Well, I in the run up to the Batman releasing, I did a little prank video on the Batman origin story. Just kind of saying that...
Wait, Red Hot Sonic didn't even know who you were for a second. Now he's like, fucking get help. This is amazing. Oh, I love it.
So shut up, Red Hot Sonic. You just admit you want to fuck Rouge, all right? Something's making you red hot. But all right. So in this video,
this is what you have to look forward to, dude.
In this video, I said that Robert Pattinson's Batman is a gamer, and that he based his entire personality off of Shadow the Hedgehog, but loved Rouge so much that he made a costume with the intention of showing it to her. And it's worth noting that Rouge the Bat's personality is loosely based on Catwoman's, is it not? So hence why Batman has the taste in women that he does. Batman is a gamer. His favorite game was Sonic Adventure 2. He based himself off of Shadow the Hedgehog, and he loves Bat Burglar, Cat Burglar, fucking fuck burglars, and wants to be a bat.
Alright, I kind of love this theory. This is a really fun theory. I like that a lot.
I also made a video where I said Uncle Ben in the MCU died sucking on toes.
Alright, I agree less with that one. But I do like your idea of Batman being a gamer. That definitely makes him, like, identify more with him, if he's like that, you know?
Another theory from that era of when I was making videos, when I would just go out my way to make bullshit videos. Another theory. Sonic in 06 definitely fucked Elise during the credits of the Sonic story.
During the...
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that.
No, but they did.
I think that's...
They did. It's like... It's
Sorry,
like,
this is pop canon.
You know, like, in The Lion King, when they've got the Can You Feel the Love Tonight bit, and you see him like licking the water of the river, and it's like it's quite clear what this is an allegory for. Like, it's a similar kind of parallel. Like in Sonic 06, you've got like Elise lays on the grass in kind of like a Christ-like position, completely vulnerable, effectively.
What does Christ have to do with any of what you're talking about?
As in, like, her hands are about as far away from her privates as can be, effectively, you know? Just splayed out. And, like... and then, fucking... the music comes in. Bow chick wow wow, you know? Fucking Sweet Sweet Sweet, the Akon remix. Which is a sex song.
Are we talking about Sonic 06 or The Lion King currently? Which one are we talking about right now?
We're talking about 06, but I'm referring to The Lion King when it comes to the codes and conventions of implied sex in movies.
Okay. Yeah, like how they had that thing in The Lion King where people think they wrote sex in the sky. Like,
no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm not even talking about that. That's silly.
That's like, I feel like that's one of those things where people are like reaching so hard because it's like, why do you want that to be there? When I talk about the sex moment in The Lion King, it's the "Can you feel the love tonight" montage. I see what you're saying. I understand what you mean.
I'm gonna get that scene up on my computer right now. I'm gonna commentate everything that's happening in it, and how
Red's too busy doing his hair,
and how it is a metaphor for sex. All right. So, "Can you feel the love tonight" scene, Lion King. All right. Okay.
No, I've seen the movie. I understand.
No, I'm going to commentate this. All right. I need to verify this not just for you, but for myself. This is one of those episodes. Okay. All right. So
okay. Dude, I like Mr. Krabs' comment. Nick is a furry, Cirrus is a furry, Wallace is a furry, and Pup is a furry. End of story. And they left
Pup is
me
not
out
a furry. Pup. All right. Okay. So immediately,
you're making it really difficult to deny that. At
right.
This
so
point,
immediately they're climbing down a hill and there's a waterfall. Right. Like waterfalls.
Yeah, that's where waterfalls.
They've been used as allegories for sex since the dawn of time. For
pissing.
Like you know the scene in Spider-Man 1 where Mary Jane and Spider-Man kiss and it's in the rain? There's a reason why it's fucking in the rain, you know? Wet. They're fucking wet for it. Alright? So, no, they don't just... They don't just be like, I'm gonna shoot in a dark alley and it happens to be raining. No. They had machines. They made
it wasn't real rain. It was rain machine because they wanted to be dramatic.
No, they made a point of putting rain there because rain is like wetness, you know? Like, it's hormones and all that shit. All right, so they're running down into the waterfall, and it's getting a little intimate. And yeah, it's still intimate. She's kind of gesturing him to kind of come out. They're doing kind of like a little dance, like a little play here, and like they're kind of doing a little play.
We're not talking about fucking pancakes today, and now we're talking about the Lion King.
No, hold on a minute. Like, okay, so it's very suggestive. She's found a more secluded area. It's a little darker. It's like, you know, you turn out the lights, and now she's gone and licking up some of the water and stuff, and he's gone and licking up some of the water and stuff. So that's like an allegory for like a 69 kind of deal, right? Like, and they're making such a point of showing the little tongues intimately, gently dipping against this water, okay? They're making such a point of it. And then she's giving him the eyes. I wish Walt
Disney could watch this episode of the podcast.
And then she's giving him the eyes, and he's got a little smile, and he's looking a little bashful, and he's pouncing at her. He's jumping her bones, dude.
Dude, has been eating bugs for like 8 years in the woods. He doesn't know what sex is.
No, but he doesn't know what sex is. Okay, so he swung from a vine and landed in the water, and what does he do? He grabs her and pulls her into the water too. This is penetration, all right? This is penetration. And she scurries out of the water a little overwhelmed at first. So that is the equivalent to, it hurts kind of thing, you know? A little bit of fear at first, you know? Like,
oh my god.
First time penetration hurts a little, but now she's giving him a look. She's pushed him back in the water, and so it goes. That's... Come on, man. Come on. Like, that's a sex scene right there. I'm done with it now. It's done.
I think the music was the only thing you needed to point to. I think that's the point.
No, it's not just
right?
But the point is, I've studied this fucking scene now. You know, it's what I do. I study these things.
Because you're a furry and you like to watch the scene.
Then explain why I fucking studied the Dr. Octopus bank fight from Spider-Man 2 and wrote an essay on it for class at uni, and how Sam Raimi traverses many different genres.
He's an animal.
That's not. You're not understanding me. Like, do you understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying here?
I don't know if I'll ever understand you, man.
Since the dawn of time, fiction has found roundabout ways of conveying sex, and I think Sonic 06.
I agree. It's just I think the music was the key off. I think that's where it went. Like that's what they put it in for.
In Sonic 06.
No, in The Lion King.
Have you heard the song "Sweet Sweet Sweet" remixed by Akon?
No? Yes? I don't know. I played Sonic 06. I guess I've heard it.
But have you heard it recently?
No. No, I try not to play that game if I can help it.
It's a very sexually charged song.
Okay.
I will now read you the lyrics.
The
I will now read you the lyrics of it.
Alright, here we go.
I'm finding the lyrics, alright? I will now read the lyrics. That's not the lyrics. Here are the lyrics. Alright, so bear in mind, this song plays after the last thing we see is Sonic and Elise laying on some fucking grass, right? You ready for this?
Okay.
Alright. We lay like lovers in a warm embrace. Lovers in a warm embrace. That's the backing vocal there.
Okay. Alright, so I see your point. I see why you would think that then.
I'm not... Okay, alright?
But okay, wait a minute.
Your kisses thrill me like no one before. Hey.
Alright, yeah, they kiss later, but like... So
Baby, I'm all yours,
song?
living just for you.
I mean, they have like a romantic relationship in the game. That's not like debating. That's how it works.
I wouldn't think they did were it not for this, man. But like, I could see the moonlight shining through the mist. I mean, that's fine. The moonbeams playing over you and me, that's fine. I see the sight of love shining in your eyes. Oh, he loves her? Ooh. And now she's holding him in her arms, loving him beneath the stars. She doesn't want the night to steal him away. Okay, right? You see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying?
I'm so uncomfortable.
Are you seeing what I'm saying?
With these lyrics being in a Sonic game.
Are you seeing what I'm saying?
Yes. I see what you're saying. I just wish you hadn't told me this.
And blood flow from Sonic Frontiers.
Don't say it. Oh, okay.
Blood flow from Sonic 06. Not Sonic 06.
I thought that was another. I thought that was another lyric to the song or something. I was like, I don't want to hear about blood flowing anywhere.
No. Blood
in
flow
this context
is the theme of Knuckles in Sonic Frontiers. All right.
Yeah. It's the time to let it go. Let the blood inside you flow, or something like that.
Yeah. Find the way to the unknown. Probably referring to the deep pleasure zone past the cervix. Trust yourself and let it go. Why would you take it slow? Because the blood inside you fucking flowing. Because blood inside you flowing means blood flowing to the penis. It's about an erection. They make that song about the guy that has 4 dicks.
Of course. Yeah. I should have seen that sooner.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Uh-huh. It's going on, going on the If I Ever Get a Girlfriend playlist.
Where we're What a fucking tangent that was. So we talked about our favorite Sonic games and what made us a Sonic fan, but we didn't talk about the shows or movies.
I don't know. Those are just kind of an optional thing. We can always save that for another time if you want, and if you want to just move on to Super Chats.
I mean, shows and movies are pretty different, so I would be fine.
I still haven't talked about my favorite Sonic game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah, Unleashed is one of them. But I have like a...
Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, talk about that. I think I mentioned mine was Adventure. That was... I would say Adventure, Generations, probably Mania, Adventure 2, stuff like that, stuff in that era.
Yeah, for me, it's Unleashed, Sonic Adventure 2, and Sonic Frontiers.
Okay. Oh, yes, Frontiers is definitely one of my favorites as well. I always forget because it's more recent, but...
Frontiers is the most perfect game that is ever made, but it's also kind of shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Fucking top tier. Best of the best.
Okay, alright, what are the other ones? Frontiers?
I just mentioned it. Yeah, Frontiers and Adventure 2 and Unleashed
Oh, okay.
are like my
Sorry, I
only
was
trifecta of
focused on Frontiers.
games that kind of touched my spirit in a big way. Like, I think Unleashed, like, has obviously done the most legwork in that it is the game that made me into a fan of the series. And I don't think any games are going to be able to do that again. But I do remember, like, Adventure 2 is a game that I didn't properly play until after Forces was out, and that game had a major healing effect on me. And it meant a lot to me, and it made me feel like a kid again.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the most obsessed I'd been with a video game for a very long time. And then Frontiers, obviously, is just a very, very fucking enjoyable game that just means a lot to me, and I probably have more hours clocked in on that game than any game that clocks my hours. So, yeah. I just enjoy it a lot, you know?
Yeah, no, that one definitely, it's got its merits, that's
I
for
don't
sure.
have to fucking justify
I like
myself
it
to you, Dylan. God.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I would not ask you to justify yourself to me. That's not what I'm asking.
Justify myself to you. Saying that the "Can you feel the love tonight" scene in The Lion King definitely isn't sexually charged at all.
I
You literally said that. You said it has nothing to do with it.
That's not what I.
That's literally what you said.
Let's
these are your words.
let's talk about Super Chats.
These are your word verbatim. Pup, you're fucking stupid. It has nothing to do with sex.
Yeah, I said that. You can go look back in the stream. That's exactly what I said.
I kind of feel like favorite Sonic shows and favorite Sonic movies is something we should save for like another episode proper, but I suppose we could just say what the favorites are.
I guess since I mentioned it, I think my favorite show. I think Boom is my favorite from like a funny perspective, from a funny point of view. But like, if I was just to say my favorite Sonic show, like my favorite Sonic-y show, I would probably give it to. I don't know. I know Sonic X has got a lot of weird issues, but like I like Sonic X a lot for like those. I especially like the Metarex saga. I just feel like it's really cool that they did a nice, unique arc for that.
I unfortunately have not properly watched Sonic X. I sat down to watch the first half of the first season, and it was the English dub, and I really liked it. But when I heard about some of the differences between the Japanese version and the English one, I was like, I feel like I'm doing a disservice watching the English one, and I need to really get the definitive experience from watching the Japanese one. Because, like, have you seen the Japanese one, Dylan?
I've seen some of it.
Well, you know, like, Molly the fighter pilot?
Yes, Molly?
Yeah, she's like a woman fighter pilot, and, in the
Is
English...
she the...
Sorry, go on.
Was she also in the earlier seasons? Was she the girl that Sonic like showed Adventure to, and like this, you know, the episode everyone likes?
What, Wheelchair Lady?
Like the one where I didn't want to say that.
No, it has Helen.
Oh, that's Heather.
Helen.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know.
Okay, no, Molly is she the other one? The other kid with Chris?
No, Molly. Get a picture. Sonic X Molly. Maybe that will ring a few bells. She's she's a pilot. Like, that should give you some clues. But like, this is Molly. I'm putting in the back rooms.
Okay. I think I recognize this character. What, did she like die or something in the Japanese version?
Yes. So this is the point. Like, my buddy Dom showed me a clip here where it's like a comparison between the English and Japanese one. In the English one, she just kind of flies off, and Rouge is like, "Oh, thank God she made it safely." In the Japanese one, she fucking dies, and they've got like the reflection music from Sonic Adventure 2 playing while she dies. So they've actually got music from the games in there as well. And I was like,
oh yeah, I know in the Japanese version they have Live and Learn in the final battle with the Bio Lizard and everything.
Yeah. So it is like, yeah, I was like, at this point, it's like, okay, so the English dub does really clip the wings of the story quite a bit then in that case. So
it changes it a lot, yeah.
At that point, I was definitely sold on it has to be the Japanese one. So I've got it all from Internet Archive on a little USB stick to watch on the TV at a later date. And I have a feeling that it could potentially be my favorite Sonic show. Because I really, really enjoyed the first half of Season 1 that I saw in English. It has its quirks, but I really enjoyed it. It felt like a very honest depiction of Sonic, and it had all the things that I love about Sonic in there. As for my favorite shows that I have kind of seen more or less the whole way through, or seen all that I really need to see to make a judgment of, Boom is definitely one of them, because it is just so cleverly written in terms of how, like, funny it is. And
Yeah, that show's really fun.
I'll give you a clue as to the other one.
I gotta guess again. Oh shit! All right.
I mean, it should make so much sense given my like sense of humor. Given that I am
YouTube poop one.
Given that I'm just a complete shithouser, it should make perfect sense that Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is one of my favorite Sonic shows.
Huh. Okay. No. Yeah. I feel like you've mentioned that before too.
There's just a bit where like Grounder's hand turns into a watermelon for some reason, and it has me just laughing in the most stupid way. There's a bit in the
I really like Scratch and Grounder. I think they're really funny, and I think Robotic, Scratch, and Grounder are like the best parts of that show. I think they're hilarious.
The fucking show. But there's also like I like the wholesome friendship between Sonic and Tails. There's like an episode that explores Tails' like origins and how Sonic and him first met, and it's so wholesome. And Sonic like gets concerned for his safety, so he tries to find him a new family, and it's lovely, you know? It's really lovely. But
I do like that. A bit of heart in the comedy show.
Yeah, exactly. But it is Robotnik that steals the show for me. Like, Long John Baldry's Robotnik is just this perfect storm.
He does have like a really good like he's got this way of playing the character that has not been topped. Like, and I'm not saying like everyone's trying to one up each other, but like there's just like a charm to that you just don't get with some of the others.
Also, ChipFan132 says, "Pup, you
so
like?"
Saying you like him because of his ass.
No,
yeah,
right. I do like the show because they draw a butt crack on Robotnik in every shot. Anytime you see the back of him, you will see his butt crack through his metal harness, and I think that's fucking hilarious. I think that's the funniest shit. I also think it's funny when he pulls his massive bubble butt up, and like, he loves how rotund he is. And the designer of this Robotnik, I think was a guy called Milton Knight. On his notes, it says he's supposed to be the sexiest fat man on television, basically. And I find that to be the funniest fucking shit. Robotnik's character design in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is just peak character design. Whenever I draw Robotnik myself, it's always in that art style. Remember I sent you that drawing I did of Robotnik with his penis out that I hid in one of the kitchen drawers to surprise my roommates?
I do remember that.
It was the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog one, wasn't it? Like,
it was, yeah.
Did you like the drawing? Was it good?
It was a good drawing, I have to admit. Like you do draw pretty well.
Thank you.
I forget that sometimes. Then you're like, oh, I do logo stuff, and I draw that, and I was like, oh yeah, shit, that's right. And you also draw all your fucking avatar stuff for like your character rig. So
yeah, I mean, I still don't consider myself like an artist as such, more a graphic designer, but I can do some drawings. And yeah, okay, Smacko. All right, I can't post it here. I cannot. But yeah, I basically drew this picture of Robotnik with a colossal throbbing erection, like, very much in the field of focus. Like, it's very much pointed at the camera, so it, you know, force perspective, it just looks like the man's got a fucking 100-incher, and Sonic is just off in the background looking shocked by what he's seeing. And it is the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog version, and the penis is incredibly detailed as well. And so I took this drawing pad, I drew this, and I stuffed it in the kitchen drawer for one of my roommates to find whenever they needed to find like a knife and fork, and that's in there. And I just sent Dylan this video of me just be like, ha, my roommates are in for a fucking surprise.
Yeah, that was. I was like, I wasn't sure what to expect, you know. Because whenever Pup DMs me, it's always something very unique.
It's either that or it's like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, no, I have got that joke I told in the Pup is Dead special on Monday.
It's not even a joke.
That was not a joke.
I did just send you a picture of a rotisserie chicken.
You just sent me a picture of a rotisserie chicken.
You were like, what is that? And I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Listen, what time did I see that though? That is the huge deciding factor as to why I said that. Like,
Well-
because if it was like early in the morning, I was probably like when I wake up, I feel like I'm like a quarter of a person. Like I haven't quite made it yet, you know?
Yeah. Well,
You get me? You know, you get me?
yeah. Do you reckon, which character in Sonic do you reckon would enjoy a rotisserie chicken the most?
Do you want me to use like facts and logic?
Sure.
Probably Tails, because
Really?
he's a fox and they eat
No,
meat.
okay, no, when you say facts and logic, I thought you meant, like, about the characters, not about, like, the animals.
Oh, well, Sonic probably, because he loves food.
So
He loves
I
eating chili
reckon,
dogs and stuff.
right? Here's the thing, right? So,
Uh-huh.
Rouge, she's got the sort of impression of, oh, she likes the finer things.
Do you
the
think
fa-
she goes to like Costco and buys a $5 rotisserie chicken
No,
every
she's like,
Wednesday? and
I,
is
I
like,
love the fancier
delicious.
things to her friends. But then, when she comes home to me, she's like, I got this fucking rotisserie chicken, let's devour it. And she's like, you know, we're gonna have one each, you know, one whole rotisserie chicken each. We're not gonna share it.
you each get your own rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
I feel like I could see that happening.
Did I ever tell you about the time Nick
That's-
got me my own rotisserie chicken?
Did you cry about it, like in happiness?
No, I was thrilled though. I was like, yes! I'd been talking about rotisserie chickens like the entire week, and he was like, okay, pup, here we go. I got rotisserie chickens. There's one for us, and there's a whole one for you.
He got you. Why did he get you your own rotisserie chicken?
Because he
Did
knew I'd
he,
want
you
the
eat
whole
a lot?
thing.
Like, is that what he was saying?
He knew I'd want the whole thing.
Did you like you swallow the entire thing in one gulp and then pull out the bones like a cartoon character?
Sure. I did eat the whole thing that night, though, I think.
I mean, that's fine. Like, I mean, a rotisserie chicken's not like an overwhelming amount of food. Like that's definitely something you could eat in one night.
Yeah, but I was just very happy about it, you know? And it's just like,
No, it's good.
it's one of
I'm
those things
glad.
where usually if I am with friends and there's rotisserie chickens, like, you know, it'll be like one chicken between two, but I always get my own chicken.
They just know. Okay, it's like honestly, I used to get like I prefer to have my own pizza
Yeah.
because I'll definitely eat like a ton of pizza, you know.
I was
But
at
like
this,
I also share a pizza. I'm not insane.
I was at
But like
this,
if we get our own personal pizzas, that's cool. I don't like you know.
yeah, I've never liked the whole thing. Plus, you have to agree on, like, what you want.
It's not because I don't like sharing. It's because like I hate the part of the pizza where there's like two slices left or one slice left, and
And
you're
it's
like,
who's
do
gonna
I?
have it? Like,
Yeah, do I just take this without saying anything, or is that just
I mean,
bad?
that's the thing is,
some of this.
I will always begrudgingly be like, so, anyone else want the last slice then?
Yeah. Start with like the hey, so there's one left.
Yeah,
Does
there's
anyone?
one left. Yeah, you want to have it? All right, I'm just sending some pictures to you in DMs, right? But I'm gonna put these on the stream for the viewers. But I was
This is
at
more
this,
chicken.
this restaurant in Spain a few days ago with my sister.
Excuse me, sorry.
And she was like,
That's
oh, they
gross.
do these ribs that are world famous, but it's kind of like a sharing platter kind of thing. So we could get like a portion between the two of us, right? And I
Yeah.
just looked her in the eye like, you know that's not going to happen, right? You know that's not going to happen. You know I'm going to want my own portion. This is the rib sharing platter. Hang on, I'm just kind of scrolling through it in the picture. There's the sharing platter of the ribs. It probably doesn't look that big because I'm scrolling over it. I need to shrink the picture down, but like, yeah, there's the rib sharing platter, and I was like, yeah, no, I ain't gonna be sharing no sharing platter. I want my own portion of ribs. The funny fucking thing is, I didn't end up getting the ribs in the end because I saw that there was a steak on the menu, like a fucking Argentinian style steak. So I got this fucking thing here. Let me just download the picture so I can show it to you guys. All right, so I'm
This is scientifically engineered moments to make me hungry.
right. Hang on.
Why
Here
are you doing this?
Here comes the steak. The steak was like, I think the waitress was also quite surprised because, like, I'm British, you know, and British people.
Really?
Well, shut up. British people will usually be like, oh, I like my steak, you know, medium rare or something. You know, that's the nation's favorite and shit. She was like, how do you want your steak? I was like, I want it blue, please. Blue. And like, and what sauce? No sauce. No sauce. And
What do you mean blue?
Huh?
What do you mean blue? What does that mean?
Well, like, you know how you
They
got
don't-
like,
They don't turn blue.
you know how you got like, you know, you got rare, medium, well done
Yeah.
and stuff.
There's no point at which it turns blue.
Well, no, blue is the. It's not spelt like that, but blue is the one below rare, and then
Oh,
below,
like cordon bleu.
No, still not like. Blue just means like rarer than rare, and then below blue, I think is like just fucking uncooked, effectively.
Oh, I don't think I'd be strong enough to try that. That sounds dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous. I'm someone who likes to have his steak.
I
be
think it
like...
literally is.
It's not. No, it's not. You can eat raw beef.
You shouldn't though.
No,
that's like Parasite City.
No, that's pork. Pork is the one that will give you tapeworm. And
no, you can still get sick from eating raw beef. I guarantee you.
I mean, it depends how it's treated. I know that food standards in the UK are a little different, but
poorly. I've
eaten some raw beef before. For starters, you can eat steak tartare. It's a popular dish in France, and the beef is completely uncooked, and it's just got a raw egg on top of it, and I've eaten that.
Well, eggs definitely make you sick if they're raw. That seems...
It's a treat.
You know all those like shows or whatever where they do like the training montage and they drink raw eggs? I'm like, dude, you're gonna get salmonella.
Well, I've
Gross.
eaten a raw egg. I didn't have the white, though. The whites are fucking disgusting. There was no white on it. It was just a yolk. Then, like, okay, so... Fucking... Yeah, no, so... Have I ever shown you Burrito de Mano, the short film I made? About the cannibalism?
That's the cannibalism thing? You haven't, but you've told me about it.
Alright, so... There's a scene where, like, a chef is cutting up bits of meat and stuff, and the meat in the film... In the film's universe, it's not beef, but I got beef for this. And I remember explaining this to Joey, who was like the main actor in it, being like, you can eat raw beef. And he's like, yeah, you fucking can't. I took a piece of raw beef and I ate it. And he just called out to his girlfriend and went, Jasmine, I'm scared. It was just really funny.
I mean, he's in a movie about, like, wasn't it, like, eating his own severed arm?
Oh, he's not the one that eats the arm. And that's where he drew the line. He's not the one that eats the arm.
Okay.
I mean, he does, actually. No, wait, I'm not going to fucking spoil anything. But, it's not his arm.
That makes it worse in my mind.
No, because, okay, I think we've been over this before. So, the guy's an amputee, and he's willingly opted to,
No, I know it's willing, but it's like so if I have the story correct, he's a willing... He's an amputee, he's got his arm, and he willingly decides to cook and eat his arm. That's your short film.
Yeah, it's the send-off.
But, like...
It's the send-off.
You think he invites his friends to do it? And, like, who the fuck agrees to do that?
A very open-minded person.
Whose friend is like, yeah,
I'm
gonna fucking eat your arm.
This is a true story.
I know.
I went and tracked down the guy that did it and sent him the film and said, thank you for inspiring this. And he liked the film.
I'm glad that he... Yeah. Cannibalism is just one of those things that makes me very uncomfortable,
Apparently they had some, like, text exchanges the morning after, like, with the friends where they was like, I'm sorry, but I just pooped you out. Like, the door.
I think I hate everything about that, what you just said. Oh.
Yeah. Well, cannibal discussion over.
Red, okay.
I'm just letting the audience know in the chat that they can listen again.
No more cannibal discussion. It's over. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta try and...
Not a cannibal.
There are some Sunset City episodes where they are super, like, on topic. And then there are others where it is just this. And I think this is one of those episodes.
Yeah. No kidding.
This is that episode. This is like, because it's like the fabled Foreskin episode, which isn't even an episode. But it was meant to be a commentary on Summer Game Fest.
Well, who cares about Summer Game Fest, truly? So I guess it makes sense that it went off topic.
Remembers that as is the Foreskin episode.
How did you guys start the podcast?
Good question, Dylan. How did you start the podcast?
Pancakes.
Sorry, what were you saying?
We started talking about the fucking pancake exclusive skin at IHOP.
This episode. This episode of the podcast. Yeah, it started off talking about pancakes.
Yeah. Oh shit, okay. Now I'm so excited to get those pancakes, though.
You want to do, Wait, Frank, I've surely had the circumcision discussion with you, haven't I? I know I had it with Little Boulder.
I don't know if we had that on the Frank episode.
Not on the episode, but when we were playing Fortnite, I must have like discussed
maybe.
circumcision with the guy.
What a fucking... Perhaps. I don't remember.
It's just fascinating to me. The answer's just probably.
How do you start the whole podcast? Like, what did it start from the beginning?
Yeah, so Dylan, how did we start the podcast from the beginning?
I don't know. I haven't watched any episodes of it.
So I can answer this. Game Apologist.
I've been here from the start. Yeah.
Game Apologist is technically the one who started the show. Like, back when he was a little tiny YouTuber, I was surprised by how few subscribers he had, and thought, well, this guy's, got some fucking grit to him, So we made friends. Like, we did a little podcast discussing, like, Sonic Forces at the time, and kind of comparing it to Sonic 06 as, like, the maligned Sonic games. And that is over on my channel. It's very embryonic. But, we'd chat and stuff every so often. And then, basically, like, my YouTube channel got hacked. So Nick referred me to a guy called Cirrus, who'd also been hacked at the time, similar time anyways. So Cirrus was able to help me effectively speed run through the process of getting the channel back. And so Nick, Cirrus, and we all get along well. Nick's also friends with a little guy called Wallace, or Wayne, depending on what region you're from. And basically Nick is saying, I want to start a podcast. I feel like Pup, you'd be a good choice. Cirrus would be a good choice. I think we've got a great dynamic, but I think Wayne is also very insightful too. So he got us all in a voice call, and we all had a little chat and stuff. We all got along really well. Loved Wayne immediately. Thought he was our first episode. And I think Nick's intention was to make it like the go-to Sonic podcast, kind of like your one-stop shop for all your Sonic info and news. And of course, I think he realized quickly that I was not the correct choice for that kind of show. Because my interests were more in kind of making it...
Rouge.
Shut the fuck up, Dylan. My interests were more in service of shithousery, making this the Sonic podcast of the people. Effectively. And eventually, like, we settled into a groove. Like, I agreed that I'd stay a bit more on track. Nick agreed to not get a pain in the pussy if I shithoused around a bit. And so it goes. And, yeah, it's now gone on for 134 episodes, this being the 134th. And, since then, I have alienated everyone. and brought Dylan here. Because...
Against my will.
What do you mean against your will? Shut the fuck up, Dylan. Shut the fuck up.
Because I want to be here. I'm joking.
You were like, I'm a huge Sunset City fan, and I want to be just like you when I grow up, Pup. And you? Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah. I'm a huge Sunset City fan. Okay, here's my experience with the podcast. When we went to Sonic...
Revolution.
Sonic and Sega Fan Jam.
Fuck, yeah.
A couple, like, what was it, 2 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
And, or last year or something.
I was like, hey, dude, and like your content, my dog is dead.
That's where I met Pup for the first time. I'd seen his channel and stuff, and, like, him on Twitter and things. But I'd never seen Sunset City. Like, I sort of knew Nick a little bit. And that's when I met Pup. He came up behind me, and he was like... He, like, grabbed my shoulders and shook me until I turned around and stuff.
Sure, but, okay. Exaggerate, embellish the truth a little bit. But being where we are now, I'm beginning the story with, he came up behind me. It's just like, fucking, that's an omen, isn't it? Like,
he did. He did. Because I was standing next to Sam and Kenny, I think, and then you were like, hey, man. And I turned around and talked to you. But, like, anyway, then later on that day, they were, Nick, Cirrus, Wayne, Pup. It was Gilly there as well?
No, Gilly wasn't there.
I don't know if Gilly wasn't there for that one. But all of them were doing a live episode of the podcast from the venue.
The unwatchable live action adaptation is what I refer to it as.
It was fucking, like, abysmal.
It's terrible.
But like people kept walking up behind, like, you know, tubers and stuff kept walking up and like sticking their head in and being like, "What are you guys doing?"
People to get involved and stuff, but eventually there were so many people on screen that poor Gigi Dutrix, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she's an illustrator on the IDW comics. Really sweet lady as well. She accidentally stumbles over the backdrop, knocking the thing over, and just it was like the whole podcast had collapsed. Such a sweet lady. It was an iconic moment as well.
That's right. That was the moment I peeked my head in too, and I was like, I didn't do that, just so you know. But I think that made it so everyone thought I did do it.
That's fine, dude. Take the heat off of Gigi.
That was awesome. That was my first ever appearance on Sunset City until I started becoming... Until Pup came to me a while back and was like, "Hey, do you want to be on this podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah." That's how it went.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, I
was like, I wasn't
like,
doing anything else at the time, so I was not to say that I would have said no, but like I was like, I was doing literally nothing because I didn't have that job I had anymore.
well,
So I was like,
Nick
I need to
and-
do something.
Nick and Wayne had left the show as well, so it was like, okay, we do need another host to kind of like bulk out that dynamic and stuff. And I was saying, Suris, I think the thing is, we can look for a YouTuber who is good, but I have another idea. That's a joke. I put Dylan forward because I was like, I think the friendship dynamic is the best aspect of Sunset City for a lot of people, and the humor. And it's like, Dylan and I, we'd chatted quite a bit on Twitter and stuff. I was like, this guy's a good
Oh yeah,
pal.
you know, and we hung out at PAX East as well. That's
did,
right,
yeah.
because that happened before the podcast. Yeah.
And I was just like, this guy's a good pal, you know? Like, I think he'll be a great addition because he's got the wit, he's got he knows his way around a YouTube channel and a joke clearly. So it's like I feel like, you know, we've kind of got it's all kind of packaged in. We don't really need to sculpt this thing much. It's just already kind of made.
I was a little out of practice, but I appreciated that. And it's been fun so far. I've been having a good
Cyrus
time.
was like so stern when we did that little mini interview with you. I was like, Cyrus, you're being out of characterly stern in this.
I don't actually remember it being that. I just remember having
like,
fun. Like
He was like, so tell me, why are you such a little bitch? You remember? And I was like, Cyrus,
he did say that, didn't he?
Yeah, I was like, Cyrus, what the fuck? Like...
That was like one of my first impressions of Cyrus. I was like, well, did I give like a completely straight answer?
You
I was
did,
like, well,
you did. Like,
I've been through a lot.
You gave a straight answer. Like, we were just genuinely like sort of asking you these little questions that I'd prepared, just to kind of like get a feeler for like what part of the Sonic fandom you could represent, because we know that like Nick and I had it in mind as like Nick and Wayne obviously represented like a part of the fan base in a way. You know, a lot of people loved Nick on the show because it's like, hey, I'm older than dirt, and so is this guy, so like we vibe, you know, we move. And I was like, you know, I ain't gonna try and replace Nick and Wayne here. I'm gonna like try and get someone who can fill in a similar kind of thing, like has tastes that are different from my own and isn't just gonna be my own echo chamber, while also kind of being enough of a bottom bitch to do as he's told. I'd compliment you too much, so I just needed to get that in there.
This I get it's when people say shit like that, I'm like, I don't give a shit, whatever.
Sure, keep telling
I
yourself.
guess you're right.
No, don't say I guess you're right. That's such a manipulative tactic. Now I want to take it all back. No, okay, so...
See, under the surface, I'm a fucking manipulative bastard and no one ever knew.
Dale Bennett is saying, is Pup serious? Did Nick and Wayne fall out with Pup? No, we did not fall out. There was some bickering between Nick and I. That's not a secret. That is literally in some of the later episodes. I think Draw Me Like One of Your French Hogs literally has him dip out of the call for a little bit because he was pissed. But, like, there was not, like, a serious falling out. We are friends. Like, you can see edits that I've done for Nick very recently, and Wayne and I are still very close as well. Wayne and I never really fell out or anything like that. But it is one of those things where, like, when you're doing a podcast with your buds, there are a lot of podcasts that can either fall apart or the friendship falls apart because of it, because it's kind of like a business kind of thing. There are like buddies I've spoken to that say, "Oh, we tried to have a podcast, but we just kept bickering over it and stuff like that." It's a very difficult thing to actually pull off. So there was some bickering that I think did lead to ultimately Nick quitting the show, but the main reason he quit the show was because he had a lot of stuff going on in life, and he could not really bring himself to care less about my bullshit, you know? Like, so that's kind of why that is. But we are still pals. Shut up, Dylan.
Okay.
Dylan, shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
Dylan!
Sorry.
You're detecting that falling out coming up. You're detecting the end of Dylan on the show.
Dude, I don't think that you've done anything so far that I've been like, oh my god, I can't believe he did that. Like to me personally. You know, like... So I've been like, don't worry. I've always been a very if there is a problem I'm having, I will vocalize it, because I'm not the kind of person who just like, you know, won't say things and let things fester. Like if something's wrong, I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, this and that and this and that and this and that.
There was the big argument we had over like the cat and dog war and like which team was right versus which team would win. And you were like, I'm going on the dogs team because they'd win. I was like, but fuckface, it's not about who's gonna win, it's about the value, surely.
I remember that. Was that on the podcast?
That was not on the podcast, that was in the DMs.
That was just in DMs? I remember that, but I don't remember why, like...
And there was a time I sent you that, like, AI art image of a dude with a pussy, and you just would not address it.
Yeah, you know what, honestly, that's one of those things I should have been like, hey, don't send me stuff like that. That's probably what I should have said. Like, I just said I would address things if there were problems. That's probably one of those things I should have said. But for real, if there's a problem, I will address it.
You were talking about everything in the picture but his fucking crotch.
But anyway, about the cats and dogs thing, I've actually had an upsetting realization today. Because, so my parents are out, they went to Florida on like a vacation, so I'm helping take care of their dogs for the week. But thankfully my other two siblings are also taking care of the dog, so I don't need to be there 24/7. Mm-hmm. They have two dogs that are almost a year old. These are like puppies, but they're big dogs. They're big golden doodles. And these dogs, they never stop. I know they're babies. They never stop moving. They never stop making noise. And they were annoying the fuck out of me. And like, I was there for half an hour, and I was so pissed off that I was like, holy shit, maybe I am more of a cat person now. Maybe I just get along better with cats, I don't know. Like, cats and really small dogs. But I was like, I felt so bad, because I've grown up primarily with dogs. These are, like, dogs that I care about. And it's not that I don't care about them.
Puppies are annoying. But they're adorable.
I know.
But puppies
I know, but I was
dogs,
like...
grown-ass
the older dogs as well that they have. Like, we have, like, an 8 or 9-year-old dog there as well. And he's I love him to death. But he is such a pain in the ass sometimes, because he's constantly trying to steal food. He is constantly trying to steal toys, or not toys, he's constantly trying to steal treats from the puppies. And he can't do that because he's fat. So, like, we're trying to stop him from gaining more weight, because he's literally an unhealthy weight. Which is upsetting, because, like, if he gets too old and he's still heavy like that, he's gonna have trouble walking. Like, his legs are gonna have trouble. But we can't get him to lose weight because he keeps stealing the other dog's food. And it's really stressful. Because it's like, the cats don't fucking do that. They eat like 6 pieces of kibble every 3 hours. Like, I don't have to worry about it. It's so nice.
The one thing that makes me more dog inclined is the fact that sometimes cats' ways of showing affection hurt. Like, they'll be kneading you.
I get it.
And then they'll just fucking stick their claws in. It's like, ow! Whereas a dog...
kneading is.
Whereas a dog, like, their claws are really blunt. Their teeth are fucking blunt. Like, everything is just designed to be fucking soft.
They do. Actually, one of the puppies is still, like, for some reason he never figured out that we don't want him to bite people, so he grabs your arm and like moves back and forth like a fucking cheese grater, and it doesn't feel very good. But like, I don't know. Like, I can deal with the cat doing the claw thing, because one of my cats, I'm convinced is too dumb to do it. I've never seen him do it. The other cat, she does it sometimes. Like, she sits on my lap and like will scratch my leg, and I'm like, yeah, I love you. You're a good cat. And that's about the extent of it. And then she goes and sleeps for like 3 hours. It's like, I don't know. I think I relate more to the cat, because the cats to me feel like, they almost feel like humanish. They have like a human level of independence almost, where you could just leave them alone for a while and they're like, oh, hey, you're back. Okay, cool. Well, I've just kind of been sitting here hanging out, doing my own thing. I don't know. That's like more beneficial for me, because like,
true, but
dogs require that constant attention.
I like that dog greeting of like, holy shit! Like, I love that.
I do too.
Also,
I do too.
I mean, a lot of my dog opinions are going to be influenced by my dog that I had, Toby. And
yeah, of course.
His greeting, once he was out of his manic puppy years, would be that he'd sort of get up off of his little cushion. This would be like 10 p.m. I get off of work. He'd get up off of his little cushion, do a little stretch, wag his tail, and come strutting over to me. And he would wait for me to kneel down, put my arms out, and say, bring it in. And then he'd give me a little cuddle.
Aww. Yeah, that's nice. See, like, I'm not saying I don't like dogs, but like, just I think the experience of having cats, I've realized that I definitely identify and like am more comfortable with owning a cat rather than a dog. Like, I feel like a dog would make me really stressed out, you know, because they need so much attention.
A cat is a lower maintenance animal overall. Also, like, with a cat, like, it's durable. You can throw it at the wall and it's fine, whereas with a dog, like, nah.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Regretted that.
Oh.
I just made
I would never throw a creature.
I would never throw a puppy at a wall. A cat, maybe, but no, not a dog.
Dude, actually, you know what? This is unrelated, but also someone said cats pretend to be dignified, but they're just as derpy as any dog. You're right. They are huge goobers, but I went to my parents' house today to take care of these dogs, like I was saying. And I went to go open the door, and this bird flies out of, like, the ether right in front of my face, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I looked on the door, and we still have, like, a Christmas wreath up, because we're, like, one of those people that don't give a shit about what's on our doors. And there's a nest and, like, 6 baby bird eggs in this thing on our door. And I was like, dude, could you have built that nest in a worse place than on a door? Like, now we have to use the other door, because we can't... He can't, like, swing the door, you know, like...
It is a miracle some of these creatures have passed the evolutionary test.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
however, you mentioned...
it seems so dumb.
You mentioned you don't give a shit what's on your door, but you gave a shit enough to put a reef there in the first place.
I didn't do it. That's my parents' house.
Oh, but you... Okay, right, I ain't gonna make judgments of your parents, I don't
know. I don't live there. Are we gonna make an omelet? No, these eggs are tiny, man. We're gonna see little baby birds be born.
Also, yeah, little birds in them. You want to make an omelet on it. Shall we,
little bird omelet.
Shall we do the super chats?
Yeah, I'm done to do super chats.
Do I need to copy paste them, or can you just go to the fan funding tab?
I think I can just go to fan funding. It's got everything, even the first one? Yep. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yep. All right. So this first one. Thank you everybody for super chats, by the way. So first one's from Sonic Fan 1661, which was delivered to the stream way before it started. For $10 US. I broke my promise and am missing class. Sorry, I've got a busy day. Something very painful happened in the furry ASMR community recently, so I need to process it. Still want to fund you guys though. Really appreciate that. I don't know what that could be, but I really hope that it's not going to be a huge issue going forward. I hope that resolves soon.
Because I'm not a furry, but
of course, yeah.
My support does go in your direction, and if you do want to tell me about it, be it in DMs or whatever, then by all means. But I hope you're doing well, and really appreciate your continued generosity, Sonic Fan 1661. We love you here.
Yeah, hope you're doing okay.
So, Black Mage Productions losing their Sunset City Super Chat virginity with $2, asking, do you think humans will appear in Shadow Generations? I hadn't even thought of it, because we haven't really seen humans outside of Eggman and, if you count Sage, since Unleashed, really. And it would make me very happy if we could get that. Time will tell, but if we see, like, the Gun Commander or anything like that, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, I could see, like, at least Maria and Gerald being in it. Gun Commander, maybe.
Oh my god, we could be really about to see humans again.
It could be, yeah.
Oh, I'm actually even more excited now. Right. Fuck.
No, that's a cool revelation. I mean, I figured we'd see at least Maria. You know?
Maria. That's when she appears and she's just a hedgehog.
They finally make that canon. Yeah. After everybody's been making designs for that over the years. Okay, all right. Next one we have Seaman, $2.99 Australian dollary dues. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Seaman. And then we got Crispy Ruffles with $5. Pop! I found the foreskin episode, and it was pretty fun. But I wish you'd warned me about that foreskin thief. I'm now forever scarred by that stupid picture. That picture is drawn by my good pal, Yana, and he's actually made a video game that's available on Steam in a very similar art style. It's called New the Beginning. It's a point-and-click adventure, and you might recognize a couple of voices in that game. One of the voice actors for that game is myself and my good pal Boba Talks, who's like the king of DC content. So, yeah, the game is like dirt cheap, and it's really good. But I do want to get back in contact with Yana and look into completing The Foreskin Thief, because I genuinely believe that this could be a really solid book. Wait, Dylan, have I ever told you about the Foreskin Thief book?
No, you haven't. I thought it was just a... Yeah, no, I didn't know.
It's not a throwaway joke.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you'll have to mention it later.
I will.
All right. Next up, we've got Phoenix with €5.
No, fucking silly Billy.
I don't care.
No, you should care.
I appreciate it regardless. Doesn't matter what it is.
It's a pound. That's my currency.
I don't care. It looks like an E, pup.
It's a pound sterling, bitch. A euro looks more like an E than that. It's like a curvy E.
I don't... Look at this. The 3 lines, it looks like it makes up an E, but anyway.
It's a pound sterling, bitch.
Been a long time since I caught a Sunset City stream. Almost all the hosts are gone, laughing my ass off, crying face. Hope you guys are doing good, though. Yeah, sorry, I got rid of them. I walked in, I had the executive decision.
You'd like the previous episode.
Yeah, go check out the Monday special, the Channel Pup Memorial special.
Feet Beyonce.
We were trying to figure out what to call that episode, and Nick was a very big fan of just having it be super simple, and just calling it like the Memorial Special. But I was like, I just want to make it as stupid and insane sounding as possible.
I remember Nick being like, what the fuck is wrong with you, pup, and your titling of some of these episodes, because like his ones would always be quite witty, whereas like when Sonic Origins Plus was rumored, we made an episode and I titled it, "There's apparently going to be a Sonic Origins Plus, I wonder what's in it."
I mean, how is that too like messy? That seems exactly how that works.
Right?
That makes sense to me. Like, I wonder what is in it. Like, that's not good for algorithm stuff. The algorithm's probably not happy about the title, but like, who cares?
Fuck YouTube. This is a Twitch show now. Speaking of which, how are our Twitch viewers doing? Let's. How is our one viewer?
Is there
doing?
Anybody?
You okay over there? There's always one though. Like that's what I like about this. Is there's always one, and I think it seems to be consistent.
That's kind of nice.
How are you doing over there? Actually, let me mute this tab.
Twitch viewer.
Let's see. Do we have any chats in there? There's the 80s Dom in there, K. Charles Champ, and Mr. Terry Chaos.
Oh, nice. Okay, I've seen some people say they've jumped over to the Twitch one occasionally, just to be a part of something new,
Give us a little
strong.
Support, I guess.
You know, we appreciate it.
Thank you, fellas.
Sorry. Okay, next one's you, Mr. SP.
Mr. SP. says, sends $4 See, I get your currency right. Hey, pup.
Yeah, because there's one thing.
A $sign doesn't fucking look like a D either. I just want to point that out.
Well, I know,
but
like
that's an S. So surely it would be
you're right.
sterling.
I know, but I've changed. That's not how it works in my brain, so I don't care.
Well, the thing is, I tried at least. You know, I try.
I do try. I try really hard.
Try. You're just a bitch.
That's mean. That's rude.
Okay, I didn't mean it. But okay. Mr. SP sends $4.05. What a weird number. Hey, pup, did you enjoy being dead? Also, Spain. I enjoyed my death quite a bit, and yeah, waking up in Spain after jumping out of the plane with the 2 parachutes was a great time. I had a blast. I went on many roller coasters, and I will share my experiences with you in the future.
Many pain. Did you end up recording that stuff with the GoPro you said you got, or the body cam you had?
The GoPro wasn't allowed unless strapped to the chest, and I could only strap it to my arm. So, I didn't get GoPro footage, but I
thought that was the point of a GoPro. It straps to your chest.
Well, this one didn't have the chest stuff. It just had arm stuff. Or head stuff. Okay. But, yeah, couldn't really do that. But my sister did film me off the ride, so, you can't really tell it's me, but there is
especially because you don't show your face.
You do just kind of see the coaster just going whoosh, and it's really cool. I'll have to
take his word for it. That was him.
The very fast coaster. It's called Red Force. It is the fastest and tallest roller coaster in Europe, and it goes from I think 0 to 150 miles per hour in 3 seconds.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm not about stuff like that. That would kill me.
That's what I imagine boosting a Sonic would probably feel like. It was terrific. And I got to go on it both at the front and at the back. Like, so my first ride on it was at the back. My second ride on it was at the front. And at the front, they give you these little goggles to wear, just in case, like, a pigeon flies into your eye or something.
Dude, I feel bad for any pigeons that collide with a roller coaster like that.
It was awesome. And then there was another one called Shambhala. And the airtime you get on that is sick. It's like a series of like hills and stuff, but they're like calculated so that you'll experience like an anti-gravity feeling. Like you're almost like flying out of your seat. It feels wonderful. Like flying.
Huh. Okay. Like flying, except scarier.
It's not scary.
Okay. All right. So thank you for that, Mr. SP. We then have TR Gabriel GF with
Go on.
5.
Come on, I've told you what this is. I've told you.
Yeah, you did.
I've told you. What is it? Come on.
Is this, hold on.
Your
I think
answer
I know.
to this will determine our friendship to tell if you have listened to me. And if you're Googling it, trying to lie to me.
It's it's on the tip of my tongue. It's a Frank's. I know it's Frank's something. Not gotta be Frank. It's Swiss francs?
Yes!
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You Googled that, didn't you? You Googled that.
No, I just remembered it. I
Googled it.
A bit.
Bad friend. Googled
it.
Bad
yeah,
friend.
I did Google it.
I wish Dylan was a
But
good friend.
you believed me. You believed me for a second, though, didn't you?
I wish Dylan was a good friend. Just gaslighting
You believed me, though, right? You believed me for a moment?
He's always gaslighting me.
All right. Yeah, alright, so I became a Sonic fan. Thank you for the donation, by the way. I became a Sonic fan when I became a Sonic fan when I one day, 3 years ago, randomly wondered whether your phone could run a Dreamcast emulator. It could. Now we're here. That's a very strong story. Because, like, I feel like playing Sonic Adventure on a phone would be fucking miserable.
Also, happy 5th birthday? No, 5th. Oh, this is your 5th super chat on any live stream. What? That's man,
nice.
I'm honored.
That's pretty cool.
It's
pretty sweet. Thanks for making it here. That's a unique story, though. I know a lot of people like I've talked to have played things on devices that were not the originals. Like, for instance, my first time 100%ing Mario 64, a game I love to bits. I did it on a MacBook Air in my free periods at school because they gave us computers. Shut up, pup. They gave us computers at the school I went to because I guess they had way too much money to spend on budget. And yeah, so everyone and like they were supposed to be like, hey, we're gonna police these so people don't do things like play games all day. And they couldn't get any of the software to work because it was all like old people running it. And it was very funny that we all just played Minecraft and shit. But I played a lot of Mario on mine. But yeah, that's that. That's my little story.
Dylan's favorite movie is the first Minions.
I don't think I saw the Minions movie.
It's your favorite. You love the Minions. They make you XD.
It is my favorite though, yeah. They do. I've XD'd quite a bit at the Minions. When Gru came on screen and he went, Minions! I went,
Gorl!
Gorl? Yeah. The Gorls?
Alright, so I think I'm up now with
Anyway.
C-Man.
Yeah, you're up.
Who sends $7.99 dues. You guys just gave me an idea for Sunset City's 150th episode milestone, if the show lasts that long. I'll let you know if it works out. Please do, and it'll last that long. I've already got episode 150 planned.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna get
Right.
we're gonna get Tommy Tallarico on it. Talk about being the first American to work on a Sonic soundtrack.
We're gonna talk about the Amico, and how cool it is, how much we enjoy it.
Yeah, we're gonna get Tommy Tallarico and his amazing Amico.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, if he sees this video, he's probably gonna be like, "Hey, let me be on the podcast."
Dude, I would love to have Tommy
table.
Tallarico on the podcast because the
I
thing
would not.
is,
I don't think I'd be able to talk to him.
whatever can be said about Tommy Tallarico, I believe he still actually did the music for the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man games, and those soundtracks did slap.
That was a pretty good game.
I would like to just talk to him and be like, dude, how did you pop off like that on the Spider-Man 2000 soundtrack?
Okay. Well, send him a message.
Dude,
Let's
Tommy
see.
Tallarico,
All right,
if you're watching this, I fucking hate the Amico. It fucking sucks. You fucking suck. Come and prove me wrong, and maybe I'll show the product. There you go. See?
Oh, God.
Now he's on his way.
All right. So then we have Mr. Terry Chaos, 2 pounds. Which Sonic character would be the most delicious? Oh God, probably Porker Lewis
Rouge.
from the Fleetway comics.
Rouge, and you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Let's just say I might have caused a pandemic back in 2020 eating that bet. Is that, like, insensitive now that I think about it?
I'm not sure. Like, the statement is so...
If South Park can
out
show
there?
Stan Marsh fucking a pangolin, surely I can do this, right?
Sure. I feel like that wasn't okay either. I feel like that's probably something that people didn't want that to happen either.
Excellent when it comes to getting near the knuckle of political incorrectness while simultaneously being as political correct as can be.
Impressive, I would say.
Oh, South Park is genius. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's the last one we have there.
No, it's
You
not.
ready?
We got Smacko, who sends
Okay.
5 Peruvian souls. And says,
How the fuck did you know that?
just galaxy brain, you know. Definitely don't have a tab open telling me what that is.
So you could look it up.
Shut the fuck up. I never claimed that you didn't tell me that. There's nothing for me to not listen to. But, he says, go ahead, make the obvious joke about my currency. What, Peruvian souls? Soul dimension? Soul dimension. Blaze. Right?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, Smacko.
Smacko.
I definitely didn't have a thought as soon as I saw the 3 first letters.
Yeah, Smacko, you're going fucking insane, dude. You're losing it.
It's wild. You must think something of us. You must have a preconceived notion that we have some kind of silly mind to us.
Smacko is now saying it's penis. No, Smacko, you just got a dirty mind and you need to get out of the gutter and fucking grow up.
Yeah, literally,
Seek
nobody
mental
said
help.
that. Nobody thought that.
Fucking have yourself institutionalized. Go sit in a recliner chair, eat a chocolate digestive biscuit, and rethink your life.
A chocolate digestive biscuit?
Oh, you haven't had those, have you?
What does that mean? Is it accepted for your stomach, or is it just
No,
like a...
I don't know why they're
Right.
called digestives, but it's a cookie effectively. Like not chocolate chip, but like
Oh.
chocolate top piece made of a specific wheat, and Americans love
Okay.
them. I know that when I went to PAX.
I'm American,
last
I don't know
year-
what that is.
When I went to PAX last year, Kadikarus brought along some chocolate digestive biscuits, which like
Okay.
Ant Dude, Fushi, everybody partook in, and they all loved him. They all thought they were delicious, I believe. I'll send you a picture of a chocolate digestive biscuit.
Okay. Do they make them in other flavors, or is it just chocolate?
Just chocolate.
Oh.
Well, no, they do plain. They do them plain as well.
Oh. I'd go for like a strawberry.
No,
I like strawberry
no. Stop. Just stop, all right?
What? Strawberry's a good flavor. That's my
No.
favorite flavor of anything.
No, you're not understanding.
Strawberry or mango.
That's not what the digestive is about.
No, I know. I'm just saying in general. Like, oh, that does look good.
Yeah, it's those. Yeah. You wouldn't have them in
Why
strawberry.
is it-
They do
Oh,
like
it doesn't.
dark chocolate digestives and caramel.
I mean, wait. Why wouldn't they? Why couldn't they have a strawberry one? That's just coating a cookie in a flavor. I feel like
you
you could do
wouldn't
that.
coat a chocolate. You wouldn't coat a digestive with fucking. You wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't.
No, you coat the plain one, and then you make it
No,
a
you
strawberry
wouldn't, though.
biscuit.
But you wouldn't. You just wouldn't. I can't.
What do you mean?
explain
Have
it.
you ever had like Pocky? Pocky's got like
I've had
chocolate
Pocky.
Pocky, and they have
This is not
strawberry
Pocky.
Pocky and banana
This is-
Pocky. It's
This
the
is
same
not.
thing.
This is not Pocky.
Well, I know, but it's still a little biscuit thing.
It's not. I'm not saying it wouldn't go. It isn't the done thing. You wouldn't do it.
Well, I know. That's what I'm not saying that it's a thing that exists. I'm saying they could.
Oh,
It
great.
would be
Now
like
you've
a
given
strawberry
Mr.
version.
Terry Chaos ideas. How very irresponsible of you, Dylan.
You know what? I appreciate you, Terry. I appreciate you.
Yeah, but are you his friend? Have you met him in person? No, you fucking haven't. So shut
No.
up.
But
I've
it
met-
doesn't stop me from appreciating people.
I've met him in person. He's lovely.
Mr. Terry Chaos or me?
Mr. Terry Chaos. I've also obviously met you in person before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So strawberry biscuits for next time. We can talk about that.
No. Fuck off. Don't you
We
know
will not talk about that.
that Gilly and I had a huge
This is where I
argument.
draw the line.
Gilly and I had a huge argument about ice cream sandwiches and fucking Oreo most stuff versions. And
What about the Oreos? Because okay, wait a minute. What
The
was the
most
argument
stuffed
about? I don't
Oreos.
understand.
I think the
Yeah,
most
those
stuff
are
Oreos
good.
are based.
Yeah,
He thinks it's too
I
much
think
stuff.
I don't. You know, regular Oreos. I think I like double stuffed Oreos better than the regular ones because they
Well,
have more of the
he's-
Oreo good.
He was okay with the double stuffed ones, but
Okay.
most stuff he thinks is too much. I think most.
Oh,
stuff
I don't think
is
I've had
great.
more stuff. I don't think I've had most stuff.
Okay, I'll send you a picture of the most stuff.
No, I've seen them. I know what they are. I just
No,
don't
I'll
think I've
send
had
you a
them.
picture of them.
Okay.
I swear that is
He
actually
sends you
like,
pictures of food and like shitty memes. That's
I
what I
swear
get.
it's
from
like a
both
trend
days.
though. Is like I'm gonna send you this picture. No, I know what it looks like. I'm gonna send you the fucking picture, Dylan.
You ever seen a piece of pizza? Yeah, I know what pizza looks like. I'm gonna send you the piece of pizza. I mean, that is a lot of stuff, but like I feel like I would still enjoy it because I like the Oreo part, like the cream part, more than the Oreo cookie part.
Yeah, I also enjoy the cream.
I'm getting hungry now though.
I'm getting kind of hungry too, but
Classic Dylan. Classic Dylan. Always hungry.
I'm sick of this shit. All right, well, Dylan,
Yeah.
what do you got going on? What do you want to shill for?
Tomorrow I am uploading a video at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's about Sonic Unleashed. Tomorrow. Should be fun. Should be a fun one.
I'm not ready for it.
I had fun. I had fun making it.
I'm gonna hate
I'm
it,
excited
aren't I?
for it to go up. I don't think you will. I think it's funny, but it's yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a fun video, and it's about Sonic Unleashed, but not quite the one you're expecting.
It's the mobile one, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a twist to the video though. So,
Okay. All right.
and it may seem like an April Fool's joke, but it's not. It's just a regular joke.
I see.
So because it's not on April 1st. So I'm anticipating a lot of comments saying, "Hey, you missed April Fool's Day." If you see people commenting that in the comments, you can post like a laughing emote underneath it or whatever. Because I say it at the end of the video. This is not an April Fool's joke. It's a regular joke.
Okay. I'm game.
Anyway, what are you doing, Puck? What are you working on?
I'm working on uploading a video that you could watch instead of that one. No, I'm working on a video that I am hoping to have out tomorrow, though, at a similar time. And that's going to be on 10 Sonic games that I think deserve remakes.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What are they?
No, I'm not going to fucking tell you that. Otherwise, you only need to watch the video.
Damn, I almost got him.
God damn it. And as for you, little Sonic Boom plush, like, what are you...
Oh yeah, he's been quiet the whole time.
He has. He's been a really good, well-behaved guest, and I really do appreciate it. But,
Holy shit. For next April Fool's Day, we should have a guest on the entire time and not have them say a single thing, and at the very end, have it just be like Jim Carrey, for real. He's like, oh, well, I'm working on...
I was just thinking we have the loading screen for like a whole 2 hours.
That's good, too.
But yeah, little Sonic plush, what are you working on?
This into the Dragon Warrior!
Okay, alright.
I'm working on myself!
I was trying to get a bit of the Tenacious D song where Jack Black's like, "Fuck you, you fucking dick!" And I accidentally got a clip of Kung Fu Panda instead. So there you go, folks. That's the fucking end. We're done. Goodbye.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.